Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Springdale, Arkansas for this evening's kickoff to this football season between Pulaski Academy and the Har-Ber Wildcats. I'm Joshua Carroll here with Holt Short this evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Great to be here. It is a beautiful 88 degrees, quite breezy here in Springdale this evening. It's got just a little bit of an overcast sky, and it's going to be a beautiful night for football.
Agreed. It looked like we were going to get some rain, but we're being told that it's not going to affect the game tonight.
That's always a good thing. Mm-hmm. You're looking at Har-Ber last year. You know, they had a tale of two seasons, so to speak, in 2017. They started out the year extremely well, dominating 5 games in a row. 3 of those were complete shutouts. And walking into Game 6, that's where they really tripped up, playing Bentonville. Bentonville really took the heart out of the Wildcats, and after a back-and-forth, hard-fought battle, the Har-Ber ended up losing that game by 3 points. Their record last year was 7-4 for a total for the entire season. Of course, this year they are walking in with a lot of brand-new starters. Last year they graduated 6 of their 3-year starters. They lost another 6 players that many players considered to be in the next round of starters for the Wildcats. Many of those either transferred or moved out of the area. So it will be interesting to see what the Wildcats do with all of this rebuilt team this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do have a lot of seniors and juniors, but as you indicated, not many of them were starters last year, so they probably know the offense and know the defense, but they may not be able to have that experience that the previous starters would have had.
That's right. So I had a chance this week to go and visit the Bruins during practice, and I got a chance to talk to a couple of the coaches. One of the neat things about this year was just one of the features, if you will, were the helmets. This year they have some brand new helmets that are state-of-the-art. They are quite expensive. I didn't get an actual number, but those helmets are quite expensive. From what I understand, these are the helmets that will become standard issue to the NFL probably as early as next year. They are the next generation in helping to combat concussions and head injuries in football.
So they're kind of almost being used as a testing ground, so to speak. Is that kind of how it's working, or
no,
they just?
No, they just got on the bandwagon early, I think.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do we know where they came from or who developed them or anything?
I do. I'll have that information for us after halftime. I've got that downstairs.
Sounds good.
So last week we faced Bryant in a scrimmage at home that didn't look good for the Bruins. They were slow to get off the ball, and of course heat very well could have played a major factor during that scrimmage. You had heat indices of up around 99 degrees. Even after the sun had been down for about an hour. So the humidity was incredible. And so we obviously saw that took a toll on several of the players, including Hudson Henry, who had some severe leg cramps. Took a while to work that out. Of course, injuries are always the story, but we didn't, looking at him during the practice this week, that did not seem to affect him. So I expect that Hudson will be out here on the field kind of showing out tonight.
Now, I did not get to see that game. How much of the playbook do you think was actually out there? I mean, did it look like they were showing much, or were they just doing basic, going through the motion, so to speak?
That's one of the things about the Bruins. You watch them, and a lot of people think that we'll use the word gimmicky or tricks, and I don't think that's it at all. And so a lot of their plays, you look at Pulaski Academy's offense, and one of the things that they run is a spread offense. That's it. And so every one of I won't say everyone, but many of their plays are based on that. You'll see 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left, and a tailback in the rear, and that's pretty much their playbook. I mean, they'll mix it up and have different people running different directions, but there's really not much there to hide in that manner. So we've got the crowd is on their feet. They're ready for the national anthem. Let's go ahead and take a break. And you are listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Yeah. Oh, you're talking. I hear it in both ears.
If you hear me on this
I can hear you.
it's not going over the air. Okay. I'm just talking in your ear.
Okay.
Now next, then when you get a chance, let's test this.
Okay. So you on that is on the live stream.
No. This is going in.
Okay. So when we go on break, just keep in mind we're still on the live stream.
Right. Yeah, can you mute it?
Yeah, I was just gonna hit mute on these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just tell me which ones we are again.
Or if we had talked to her, him.
We're on 3 and 4.
Yeah. Play that real quick.
Play what?
This.
Okay.
It's
They're already doing it. They're in the middle of it. What's that? I know. It'll be okay. Folks, those of you who are on the live stream, we are on a radio break, and so sometimes you'll hear us talking when that happens. And you'll just get a peek into the into what's going on behind the scenes.
Mute your mics a second.
Yeah. We'll work it out.
Hey, talk in that mic real fast, real fast, real fast.
Hello, hello, check, check, check.
Okay. Turn that switch on. Okay, I'm gonna label this in a second. This is what I was looking for. You're on. You're already on. So there's no
What?
way to mute it on that end.
No. I mean, other than turning that down.
Couldn't hit the on the audio thing. She couldn't hit.
No. We'll have to work on it later.
Be able to, right? Whenever you want.
I got you.
I'm trying to get the crowd noise as well.
Okay.
Hey, if the crowd noise comes on, it's really loud. Turn down number 1.
To Har-Ber High School, where the Bruins are getting ready to take the field against the Wildcats this evening in Springdale. We've got a crowd of folks here all the way from Little Rock. The stands on the opposite side of the field where the visitors are lining up. It's about half full. I'd say we've got about 300 or 400 here tonight.
That
Good.
looks about right. Yep.
So we've got a lot of the Wildcat cheerleaders on the field right now. They're getting ready to cheer on their team so that they'll take the field. I tell you what was impressive this evening was the Wildcat band, that Wildcat marching band. My goodness, how many people are in that band?
I don't know, but I was asking how many people went to this school and heard it was 2,300, and I'm guessing half of them are out there ready to play some instruments right now.
No doubt. It is quite an impressive band. They took the field from the south end and marched their way to the north end of the field. It was quite a spectacle. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see them during halftime. So again, looking at this week at the Bruins, we've got a lot of folks that are excited to play. We've got I know that we've got at least a couple of starters this year. On the Bruins defense, we've got Chris Connell, who I spoke with, and he's extremely excited to be a starter this year and show what this year's defense can do. He's, as I mentioned on the last week's stream during the scrimmage, he is excited about his physics lab. So looking forward to that.
That never was my class. Nope. He's a left inside linebacker, 6'1", 205 junior. Should be good, just fun to see him play and show us what he can do out there tonight.
No doubt. Looking around at the other conference games this week, we had Watson Chapel that played at Nashville. We've got coming up tonight, we have BB playing at Greenbrier. That should be an interesting game to see, another non-conference game. Batesville at Little Rock Christian, and Pulaski Academy, of course, playing here at Har-Ber. It was interesting last night. We got a chance to go and watch the junior high team of the Bruins play at Little Rock Christian, and that was quite a game. It was a lot of fun. The Little Rock Christian got one 6-point touchdown, and they hung with those 6 points the rest of the game, and the Bruins went on to win that game. One thing of note out of the junior high game was Joe Hyman had a pretty I'm not sure how severe the injury was. Haven't been able to reach out to Coach Lucas today and find out, but he took a spill on the close end of the sideline, and it looked like he rolled his ankle very severely. Not sure to find out if that was a sprain or if it was a break. From my perspective, it looked like a break. So hopefully if Joe is out there listening or his family, just know that our thoughts and prayers are with you, and hope that you can heal up very quickly. And so we're looking forward to having you back on the field and out of pain, that's for sure.
Yes.
So
going back to that schedule, you said this first game, the scrimmage, was at PA. It was at the Bruins, and it didn't turn out great, but at least they got to play at home, because this is the first of 3 games they're going to be on the road in the next 4 weeks.
That's right.
And 2 of them are out of state. And so, at least getting that experience on the home field before the season started has to be a positive for them to take away from that.
No doubt. I mean, even with the game ending as it did, one, it did not go down as a loss for the Bruins because it was a scrimmage. It wasn't regulation clock. It wasn't regulation play. Not to make excuses, but, that's one of the things. If you have to take a loss early in the season, that's the way you want to do it, is during a scrimmage. And one of the things, I spoke with Coach Amsler during the week at practice, and one of the things he told me was they didn't need any additional motivating coming back to practice the next day. They were already fired up. They were feeling the hurt and the pain from that loss, and that may have been just one of the things that this team needed to see this year. And just a nice little kick in the pants, as they say, to remind them that wins don't come easy just because you're wearing a Bruin uniform.
Considering how much they've won lately, it's also a good reminder they are not invincible.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully we don't see any of the heat injuries that we've seen in past, but I think we need to take one more break before we get started here. Let's go ahead and do that, and we'll have kickoff as soon as we get back. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. You're monitoring that.
101.1 FM, The Answer. KBXE-FM, Catholic Village, broadcast Salem Media Group station. 101.1 FM, The Answer.
Welcome back once again to Har-Ber High School, where the Wildcats are getting ready to host the Pulaski Academy Bruins. We're excited to be here. We've got the Wildcat cheerleaders on the field getting ready to introduce the Wildcats themselves, and the crowd is now on their feet. It's quite impressive. We've got the student section. We've got the parents, fans, family taking up the home team side of the stadium. It is quite impressive how many folks turned out for this game tonight.
This is a very impressive facility in general. And apparently they have one exactly like it over at Springdale High School, but it's my understanding this was built in, I want to say 2000. Well, the stadium itself was built in 2014, so this is year 4 for them.
Wow.
So it is a fairly new stadium in terms of facilities like this.
Interesting. It is an extremely nice facility, folks. If you haven't seen it before, I can paint a picture for you. You've got on the south end of the field, we've got a large field house that is just as wide as the football field itself. It's just as deep as the football field is wide. Obviously, it's made tall enough that they can practice kicks inside there. And then we've got the scoreboard sitting just outside of it next to the field. On the west side of the field, you have the home team stands and this incredibly nice press box that's 3 stories from the bottom floor of the press box. It goes up 3 stories. You've got a camera deck on top, and then of course on the opposite side of the field, you've got a nice visitor section that's over there to hold at least it looks like it'll hold about 1,500, maybe 1,000. So we've got quite a number of Bruins. There's still some Bruin fans trickling in, and it looks like we're getting ready to kick off. The Bruins are ready to receive the ball. For the Wildcats, we have number 82, Pedro Rodriguez, back to kick. There's the kick. It's up, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. It's driven into about the 20-yard line by number 24. That's Caleb Nichols of the Bruins.
Caleb looked like he bobbled the ball for a second there, but he recovered pretty quickly and was able to get out at least to about that 20-yard line. So at least it could have been much worse and turned out all right for him.
No doubt. So the Bruins will take possession at their own, looks like 19-yard line is where they've spotted the ball. First down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins. So the quarterback, Braden Bratcher, he's back there. He has the snap. Excuse me, that's not Bratcher. Tonight starting, excuse me, that is Braden Bratcher. I can't see straight in these binoculars tonight.
He had an empty backfield there, and he had a man over the middle. Unfortunately, he could not come up with it. I didn't catch who that was, but he bobbled it a bit and then just ended up with an incomplete pass.
So Bratcher has the snap. He's looking to his left. That pass is complete to Jaden Kelly, and he's knocked out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain. That'll place the Bruins at about their own 26-yard line and bring up third down, about 4 yards to go.
That's the kind of play you actually want to see on the first down. You'll get the closer to get that first down marker, but still with Bruins, they got 2 more to go.
So there's Bratcher with the snap. He hands it off almost immediately, a little shovel pass there to number 84. That's Hudson Henry, and it looks like he might have made about a 1-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up fourth down, about 3 yards to go for the Bruins. And it looks like Bratcher is already ready for the snap on fourth down. He's looking to the sideline for the play, and here comes his count. He's ready for the snap. There's the snap. He's going to hold it himself. Oh. He runs right up the middle, and he is met by a herd of Wildcats. Looks like no gain on the play whatsoever, and so the Wildcats will take possession of the ball at the Bruins' 29-yard line.
He went with empty backfield on all 4 plays there, but it just did not have much success. Hopefully it's just early game jitters, first game of the season jitters, and unfortunately it gives the Wildcats very good field position at the 28-yard line. Hopefully the Bruins defense will be up to the task and can give them a 3-and-out.
So let's see what the Wildcats come up with. At quarterback, the Wildcats have Blaze Witchson at quarterback. Looks like he has the snap. He's looking for someone to his right. It's incomplete, though. And so it's going to continue right where they were from the 29-yard line. Second down, 10 yards to go.
That was number 2, Hunter Wood, and he actually caught the ball, but he was out of bounds when he made the completion, or not incompletion, so to speak.
I think I'm going to find another pair of binoculars I can actually use during a game. All right, so the Wildcats are lined up. They're ready for the snap once again. You've got Wishson out there. He's got his pass looking straight down the middle. He was intending for number 13. That's Nick Buchanan. It's incomplete. The coverage was by number 34 of the Bruins. Number 9, excuse me. Trent Sawyer. It looked like Blake Titus was in there mixing it up as well.
It was really good coverage. He was on top of him as soon as that ball was hit the receiver, and fine line between possibly getting the pass or the pass interference and knocking down the pass, and he fell on the latter side. So,
all right, so there's the snap to number 15, Wishson. He's kind of in a scramble out of the pocket. He runs to the left, and he makes it almost back to the original line of scrimmage. That's at least going to be a 3-yard loss. Looks like they're going to mark it as a 4-yard loss for the Wildcats. That'll bring up fourth down and about, well, now they're moving it again. So let's bring up 4th down and 13 yards to go for the Wildcats.
They look like they're going for it here. So I don't know if their kicker's not great or they just adopting the same strategy as Pulaski Academy.
Could be. Let's see. Witchson is behind. He's in the shotgun formation. He's looking for the snap, looking to the sidelines to confirm that play, and now he's going to relay that up to the line, and he's calling for the snap. There it is. He's looking to his left. Continues to look. There's a long pass all the way into the end zone. It is caught. No, it is not. He caught it out of bounds. The referee says that Hunter Wood caught it out of bounds. That was number 2. Hunter Wood was the intended receiver. He caught it out of bounds. It looked from here like his feet were in bounds, but he may not have had a foot down.
May not have had control of the ball. We
That's
don't really
true.
know, but that was an impressive effort by him. It's fortunate for the Bruins that he did not come up with it or they did not give it to him.
No doubt. So the Bruins will once again take possession of the ball at their own 31-yard line. It's 1st down, 10 yards to go for Pulaski Academy. We've got 10 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock, and we are still scoreless in the first quarter here in Springdale. The Bruins have lined up. We've got Braden Bratcher. He has the snap. He hands off immediately to Jaden Kelly. He runs around the right side, and he's stopped at about the 33-yard line, about a 1-yard gain for the Bruins, and that'll bring up 2nd down, about 8 yards to go.
After going with the empty backfield on the first possession, it looks like they decided to put a running back there with the quarterback.
So there's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his left. He's running around the left side, scrambling out of the pocket. This pass is complete to number 4. That's Merritt Jones.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was past the line of scrimmage. I'm afraid they got him with the flag there. It's going to go backwards.
So that one's coming back.
That was almost one of those you wish he'd just held on to the ball. It looks like he could have run as far as he threw it.
Sure.
It was great blocking there, but he just wasn't aware of where he was on the field.
So they're going to move the ball, and after the penalty is assessed, they'll place it at about the 29-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll replay the down. So 2nd down, about 12 yards. Looks like 12 yards. Nope, it is 3rd. 3rd down, 13 yards to go for the Bruins. And the Bruins are lined up. Bratcher he's called for the snap. He's looking to his left. He looks to his right. He's running to his right. He passes it to Henry. Henry has it, and he runs out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. That's just almost. Let's see if they'll move the chains. That's a close one. Looks like it will. Yes. They're calling to move the chains now. So that'll be 1st down. And nope. We've got officials arguing about it. Yeah, no, it is a 1st down. There you go. You've got the white hat down here saying, no, let's go. We've got the side judge over there saying, yeah, let's move the chains. So now I think they've got it figured out. 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins from their own 43-yard line. 9 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and we're still scoreless at Har-Ber High School. There's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his right. He's going to run to his right. He's still running. He's on his feet, missing 2-3 tackles, and he runs out of bounds at the 50-yard line, holding onto that one himself. And so that will be about a 7-yard gain for the Bruins. They'll place it at about the 50-yard line, about 3 yards to go on the 2nd down.
That was an impressive spin move by the quarterback. He looked like they had him, and then he somehow snuck out, dodged another tackle, and got outside.
That was nice. There's the snap to Bratcher for 2nd down. He looks to his left, and the pass is up. Is almost. He was looking for Jaden Kelly, at about the 50-yard line, but he was covered from behind, it looked like, by what was that number 8, I think it is. Could be number 6, Ty Kofer of the Wildcats. And he came up from behind him and slapped the ball down for an incomplete pass. So you have third down, about 4 yards to go for the Bruins. There's the snap, handoff immediately to Jaden Kelly. He has the ball. He's running up, and he makes it to about – he jumps over a couple of defenders and makes it to the Wildcats' 46-yard line, and that will, again, move the chains for a first down for the Pulaski Academy Bruins.
Yeah, they pitched it to the short side, and he had a few blockers in front of him, but unfortunately it was all clogged up over there, and he couldn't quite get to the first down, but he did put him in good position on this fourth down. Oh, wait, it is first down.
Right, they moved it. Yeah, that's right. So
There
we've
we
got first down, 10 yards to go from about the 46-yard line. There's the snap. He hands off to that wasn't Jaden Kelly. That was Isarius Woods out there in the tailback position, and he is brought down in the backfield. That's going to hurt the Bruins. Looks like that's going to be about a 4-yard loss. That'll bring up second down, 14 yards to go.
They were on top of him as soon as he got that ball. It just must have been a complete failure on the offensive line.
So now Isarius Woods goes off the field, and instead they bring Mason Cobb in on the close end. So there's the snap, and Bratcher is looking to his left. The pass is complete to number 11. That's Nate Cumming, and it looks like that's a gain of about, what is that, about 7 yards for the Bruins. That'll bring up third down, about 5 yards to go.
That looks about right. He was pretty open there and could have gotten a few more yards, but we'll certainly take what we can get.
Absolutely. So we have 7 minutes, 48 seconds on the clock. It's still counting. We're still scoreless at Har-Ber High School with the Pulaski Academy Bruins. We're looking for the snap. Bratcher is in the shotgun position. He's got 2 receivers left, 2 right, and the tailback was on the line as well. He's looking downfield, and there's the pass. It's up. It's intended for number 34. Who is that? That's number 34. That's not John Dillamet. I don't know where I got that name. Let's see. It was intended for number 34. The pass is incomplete, though. It looks like that's Blake Titus down there. Interesting. They had him out there on that play. Normally Blake Titus plays left safety on the defense, so it's nice to see him playing on both sides of the field.
That was good coverage by the defender there. He had 2 receivers, 2 defenders, and he was able to knock it out of the receiver's hands before he could catch it.
So there's the snap to Bratcher for fourth down. The officials have a flag on the play prior to the snap. Probably going to be false start. You've got one there. Mixing around different papers and whatnot. We're going to see who's got the right information here. So with the Bruins, let's see, what was the penalty there? It was a false start against the – was that against – yeah, that was against the Bruins there.
Yep.
So they now have the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. It's fourth down, 10 yards to go from the Wildcats' 46-yard line. There's the snap to Bratcher. He's running to his left. He's looking downfield to his left. It's sailed just over the head of J.D. White there around the 35-yard line. So the Bruins will bring the defense on the field. The Wildcats will take possession of the ball at their own 46-yard line.
That's the second pass that Bratcher has thrown high. He must just be having first game jitters because he's, like I said, sailed his receivers twice now. If you had told me that there was not a score in the first 7.5 minutes of this game, I would not have believed you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. We've kind of gone back and forth, and we haven't left that margin between about the 25-yard line to about the 45-yard line. The ball has kind of moved back and forth from there. So we have 7:25 remaining in the first quarter. We're still scoreless in Springdale against Har-Ber. There's the handoff to number 1 of the Wildcats. That's Micah Seawood, and he gains about 12 yards on that play. That's definitely enough to move the chains for the Wildcats.
And unfortunately, we had a Bruin defender in the backfield, and he just couldn't make a shoestring tackle, and it resulted in another 10 yards or 12 yards or however it was. Got to make those tackles.
Absolutely. So you've got Blaze Wishin out there at the quarterback position. He's in the shotgun position. He hands it off the ball immediately to number 7. That's Will Haney. And he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard loss. Looks like he is a little bit shaken up on the play. He's going to try and hop off the field. That was Clinton Wilson with the stop, number 27.
As I just mentioned, the kind of tackle you want to make in the backfield, that's the one you want to see. Just get those yards right back from him, keep it in the middle of the field where it's been all night, and get the ball back to the offense.
So Will Haney comes off the field with some assistance. Looks like he twisted or injured his ankle in some way, but he was already up, hopping off the field on his own, so hopefully he'll be all right. So let's go back. We've got second down, about 13 yards to go for the Wildcats. We're at the 45-yard line, and there's the snap to Wishin. He looks to his left. He attempts the pass to number 14, Lucas Sawyer, but it's incomplete, batted down by number 27, Clinton Wilson. He's having a great evening.
He was looking to have a career night real early on.
Absolutely.
Follow up his sack or his tackle for a loss with a interception. At least he got his hands on the ball, because I don't think there was anyone behind the receiver to stop him for several yards. So that was a big play, even though he didn't get the interception.
Absolutely. So now we're at third down. We're still at the 45-yard line. The Wildcats have possession of the ball at the Bruins' 45-yard line. Third down, about 13 yards to go for the Wildcats. And Blaze Wishin in the shotgun position looking. We've got movement from one of the receivers in the backfield. There's a snap. However, prior to the snap, delay of game against the Wildcats. Haven't seen, that's the first one of those that we've seen tonight.
Yes,
And
first,
so
second flag we've seen. I think,
it is.
total.
It's the second flag total.
It's
Interesting.
Fast-moving game.
So that'll back the Wildcats up to the 50-yard line. It brings up third down, about 18 yards to go for Har-Ber.
Yeah, without any scores, without any, very few flags. It's been a very fast-paced game, but not a lot of scoring.
So now we have third down, 18 yards to go from the 50-yard line. Blaze Wishin looking for the snap. There it is. He's going to scramble out of the pocket. He's got Bruins all over him. He's running to the right. He finally runs out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Wow, another 7-yard loss for Har-Ber, and the ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line.
Number 36, Bennett Perkins, was really responsible for that play. He came off the corner and just forced him out of the pocket, and then I didn't see who actually ran him out of bounds. It was number 30.
I didn't see it. I didn't
34,
catch it.
I don't know, but either way, someone cleaned up the mess, and that's definitely what you want to see. Oh, we're going to have our first punt of the night, it looks like.
Looks that way. So here's the punt for fourth down and a long way to go. There's the punt for number 15, and of course, as always, the Bruins don't field anyone, and that caught you by surprise there. Looks like they punted it nearly into the end zone, and who is that out there? Number 21 of the Wildcats, Griffin Clampett, made it down to the end zone and batted the ball out of the end zone. So the Bruins will take possession of the ball at the 1-yard line. Looks like maybe even the half-yard line down there.
So the ball did go in the end zone, though, right? Is there something that
if the ball goes into the end zone, it would be a touchback, and of course
Okay.
they take possession of the ball at the 20-yard line. As it is, it looks, of course, the official, the side judge down there, he has a better view of it than we do up here. From what it looked like, and of course the player celebrated afterwards, I have to assume that he jumped up and batted the ball back in at the 1.
But it looked like it still went into the end zone. He
Yeah.
touched it for sure before
he
it
touched
went in.
it, and as soon as he touched it, and it hit the ground inside,
Okay.
On the playing surface, that's where it's downed.
Okay.
So the Bruins take possession at their own 1-yard line, and there he is. There's a flag on the play prior to the snap. It looks like the official is having some words with one of the Wildcats. Looks like number 4, Jay Burns. I'm not sure what is going on there. Let's see what the call is. Prior to the snap, offside, false start.
Yeah.
It looks like he was about to signal encroachment, and then he changed his mind for a second. So false start. So, of course, they moved him half the distance to the goal. That would have been about 4 inches. So there's the snap to Braden Bratcher. He looks to his right. That pass is incomplete. It was intended for Hudson Henry at about the 5-yard line. He was covered up completely by number 27, Carter Carlton, a 5'9" senior on the defense.
Well, and that large band we were telling you all about is right behind the Bruin offense just in their ear right
They
now.
are quite animated, jumping up and down. There's the snap to Bratcher for second down. He is in the back of the end zone. Looks like he attempted a pass to, looks like number 12. No, who was that? Number 2?
I didn't see.
I can't see who that is out there. It's interesting. The Bruins tonight are wearing their white uniforms with gold lettering, and it's one of the things that we always look for. That was number 2, so that would have been Jack Polk, wide receiver, senior. And so you've got that band. They're out there making all the noise they can for third down. There's Bratcher in the end zone. He's got the pass. It's complete. There you go. That pass is complete to Hudson Henry. He is brought down at about the 24-yard line. That will move the chains. First down, 10 yards to go for Pulaski Academy.
And that quieted the crowd and certainly probably demoralized the defense for the Wildcats. Hudson broke at least 2 tackles. Looked like he wanted to break a few more.
Absolutely it did. So the Bruins now have possession of the ball at the 23-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. We're still scoreless with just under 5:50 remaining in the first quarter. The Bruins are ready for the snap. You've got Braden Bratcher out there. He has Jaden Kelly to his left. He has 1 receiver left, 2 right. That's Caleb Nichols out there. He has the handoff, and he runs the ball up to about the 35-yard line. That again will move the chains. Another first down for Pulaski Academy.
That's what throwing the ball so much will do for you. And you got a guy in the backfield and make plays like he just did and just hand it off, and there's only 3 guys waiting to try to tackle him. And
so there's the snap. He hands off this time to Isarius Woods, serving as tailback now, and he is brought down at about the 43-yard line. That's about a 6-yard gain, maybe 7-yard, 8-yard. Let's see. Wow, they were quite generous with that placement from the way it looks up here. So that's actually second down, 2 yards to go. They actually gave him 8 yards on that one. So there's a handoff once again to Isarius Woods. He pushes through the line, makes it up to the 49-yard line. That'll move the chains again for the Bruins, another first down.
They are feeling the momentum right now. That's 4 or 5 straight positive yardage plays, 3 straight first downs. Oh, no, they got 2 in the backfield next to Bratcher.
They do. They've got Bratcher. Looked like he was carrying, but then it looked like he was trying to block ahead for Isarius Woods. That was an interesting play. Bratcher took the snap, handed off to Isarius Woods on his right, and then headed off out in front of Isarius and served as a blocker as he was trying to run it through. So that was an interesting play. The Bruins are back at the 49-yard line, at the Wildcats' 49-yard line. Second down, 8 yards to go. Bratcher's in the pocket. He passes out to, who is that, Henry?
Yep.
That was Hudson Henry. He forces himself down through up to about the 35-yard line. That'll move the chains again. First down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins.
There was not anyone within 3 yards of Henry when he caught that ball. You got to think at this point they'd have someone closer to him to stay on top of him, but
absolutely. So there's a snap for first down. Bratcher passes across to number 5, J.D. White, on the far side of the field. He's forced out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and looks like there is a flag on the play. It looked like illegal blocking in the back to me. What did you see?
Either a holding or a block in the back. Unfortunately, I think it was Henry was trying to grab onto the defender, and either way, the defender got by him. Either way, they were probably going to get him for something.
No, we can't let's see. It is holding against the Bruins is the call. They're going to replay first down from about the 41-yard line. The Wildcats' 41-yard line, excuse me.
That's one of those ones you hate to see because it probably wasn't even necessary, but Henry obviously didn't know what was going on behind him.
I love it. We have some messages coming in already. We've got the photo from Isabel Thrash. Coach Thrash is watching from home tonight with the little one. So getting him full of football knowledge already. There's the handoff from Bratcher to number 18. That's Dylan Allison. He runs around the left side of the field, and he's brought down at about the 38-yard line. That's about a 3-yard gain for the Bruins. It's second down, about 16. Nope, I think they've got it wrong up there. It's about 13 yards to go for the Bruins.
The big thing is they're finally in Wildcat territory for the first time tonight after those past few plays. So
you've got the Bruins are out on the field. You've got Caleb Nichols in the tailback position just to the left of Bratcher. Bratcher's looking for the snap. There it is. He's looking to his left, looking straight ahead, and this pass was about 5 yards out. There is a flag on the play. I'm not sure if that pass was complete or not. They didn't signal either way. Let's see what the flag is. I didn't really see anything from here.
It might have been pass interference. It was a dangerous pass, though. There were two defenders right on either side of the receiver. It was a real risky pass there, but it looks like they're going.
Yeah. Passing interference against the Wildcats. So that will obviously move the chains for the Bruins. That's the type of penalty that the Wildcats don't want to see in this game. You can't afford it.
No, certainly not, especially when you had the Bruins looking at 3rd down and long, and now all of a sudden it's 1st down and 10 at the 29-yard line.
All right, so there's the ball spotted at about the 29-yard line. Excuse me, that's about the 24-yard line. We have Yeah, that's all right. There's the pass out to number 24, Caleb Nichols, and he forces his way through about 4 different defenders up to about the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at the 11. That'll move the chains. 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins. 3:31 on the clock in the first quarter. We are still scoreless between Pulaski Academy and Har-Ber High School in Springdale.
On that, so they have back to one man in the backfield next to Bratcher. So
that's Caleb Nichols in the tailback position. There's the snap to Bratcher. He looks to about the 5-yard line. He's looking there for number 4, Merritt Jones. His pass is complete, and looks like that will bring up 2nd down, about 4 yards to go for the next 1st down. But again, they're on the 5-yard line. So about 4 yards to go for a 1st down, 5 yards to go for the next touchdown. 2:51 on the clock and counting down. There's the handoff from Bratcher to Jaden Kelly. He runs right up the middle and is stopped immediately. Looks like it was worth about a 1-yard gain, maybe 2, depending on where they spot it.
The Bruins have sensed a weakness in the middle of the field because they just keep attacking it, whether it's a run play or pass play. It's 3 or 4 times that Bratcher's thrown up the middle or handed off, and the running back's just gone straight up the middle looking for yardage.
So there's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his left. It's passed. It's good. Out to Hunter, or excuse me, not Hunter. That's Hayden Henry. Hudson Henry. There's too many Henrys. I tell you what, and every one of them are successful at what they do. So you've got Hudson Henry out there with the catch, and it's a touchdown for the Bruins.
I am not usually a fan of a fade right routes type play, but that one seemed to work out. And it was more of a running right to left across the back of the end zone. He caught it right before.
I'm quite confused with what they have going on the scoreboard right now, but
the Bruins convert the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, we have 4 on the scoreboard here, folks. We've got Wildcats 0, Bruins 4. That's quite funny. There it goes. Now they've got it correct. So the Bruins, after the 2-point conversion, it is good, and the Bruins lead the game 8-0 here with 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with the rest of this first quarter in just a moment. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer.
For Pulaski Academy, number 8, Clay James.
Welcome back to Har-Ber with the Wildcats and the Bruins. Currently our score is Bruins 8, Wildcats 0 with 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. Pulaski Academy just kicked off. Of course, it was an onside kick. The Wildcats fielded it at looks like about their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, it was a bobbler to the left side of the field, and Bruins just could not get to the ball in time. And usually you like to see those go a little higher, buy more time for the Bruins to get to the ball, but in that case it was much lower to the ground, and they just couldn't get there in time.
During that last drive, it was a 14-play, 99.5-yard drive, and, of course, a 3-yard touchdown pass by Braden Bratcher to Hudson Henry. That was an incredible series of plays to watch. There is a flag on the play.
Before the play started, it looks like we're going to see false start. Yep. So
that's another one that you don't want to see as one of the Wildcats tonight, because they are trying so hard to minimize the flags, of course, on their side of the ball, and they just haven't done it so far in this first quarter.
And I think that might be the fourth or fifth play in a row that, or play or penalty or whatever, where they've had negative yardage by the Bruins on offense.
So the Wildcats are ready for the snap. Wishon is ready for the snap. He calls for it, and he hands off immediately to number 10. That's Malachi Campbell. And he makes his way about that's a 1 yard gain. So that'll bring up second down. 9 yards to go for the Wildcats from their own 48-yard line.
That was basically just recovering the damage from the penalty. So he picked up about 6 yards, and they're back where they started, but with one less down.
Second down, 9 yards to go. There's a handoff immediately to number, who is that, number 15? It looked like number 18. That could not be the case, as they don't have an 18 on the roster.
Hey, they are doing the same thing that the Bruins were doing on offense. They're just going right up the middle, trying to attack the center of the defense. And it seems to be working so far with two 5 or 6 yard plays. Let's see if the Bruins can stop them from doing it again.
Those uniforms are doing the same thing that you'll see throughout the season. They wrinkle up there in the middle. Runs it again right up the middle for about a, about a 3, let's see where they place it. Looks like about a 2 yard gain. It's another nice spot for them. That'll bring up fourth down, 1 yard to go for the Wildcats. They're now in Bruin territory at the 44-yard line.
I think it's just going to be every time they get into opposing territory, they're going to go for it, fourth.
So here we are. Let's look and see what Wishon does with the ball. He's looking back to the sidelines. He's going to change up the play. They're moving around quite a bit. He has McCray, it looks like. Nope, that's number 10 still, Malachi Campbell, back in the tailback position. He forces his way through the line and makes it up to about the 36-yard line. That'll move the chains for the Wildcats.
Now, the Bruins had 8 in the box at least, and that's got to be frustrating for them that they couldn't get hand on him. And I mean, that is looks like a very large running back charging up the middle.
No doubt.
So understandably, it's probably pretty hard to bring down.
It's interesting, Malachi Campbell is not listed as one of their starters, so but he's been quite productive for the Wildcats so far this evening. There's the snap to Wishon. He's looking down the left side of the field. There's a big, long pass. Oh, it is incomplete. That pass was intended for number 83, Walker Emel, and it was broken up by Bruins. Who is it? Is that number 5? It is. There's that 15.
It's 8 or 6. It looks like number 8.
Clay
James.
Clay James out there breaking up the pass, doing an incredible job. One of the things I watched the wide receivers working on this week was, aiming for that ball. Going for the ball consistently. Don't try to defend. You just go for the ball every time, and they're doing that so far this game very well. The handoff was complete to number 10. Once again, Malachi Campbell looks like their workhorse in this quarter at least. And he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It looks like about a 5-yard loss. There is a flag on the play. It's going to be a sideline warning against the Wildcats.
On that previous play it was basically just a toss-up, and the quarterback threw it to the left side of the field as he was almost about to get hit. I did not catch who the Bruin defender was, but he was on top of him and almost forced an interception. And it looks like we're ending the first quarter. And the Bruins have been successful in keeping the Wildcats outside of the end zone, which is a very impressive feat. Meanwhile, the Bruins take the lead 8-0 going into the second quarter here. Absolutely. So let's see. We've got second quarter. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick. You've got the Bruins leading 8-0 here at Har-Ber High School. You're listening to Bruin football on 101.1 FM, The Answer.
I'll go listen to my phone. I'm going to go ahead and get is he talking to y'all?
Are you talking to us, Zach? Okay.
You want to try this real quick?
What?
Wait, ask him how long.
How long is this break?
Not very long.
No.
Oh, well, yeah, it was sort of.
All right.
Oh, never mind. Whatever the next break is.
At the Pulaski Academy 37-yard line, third down.
If you need to change, this is your headphone volume. Locally, meaning here, and then that. It return.
All right, go ahead.
Will Shelton.
Welcome back once again to Har-Ber High School, where the Wildcats are hosting Pulaski Academy. PA currently leads 8-0 with 11:56 remaining in the second quarter. Good evening and welcome back. We currently have the Wildcats with possession of the ball at Pulaski Academy's 37-yard line. They are in fourth down with about 11 yards to go. This has been an extremely quick drive right here.
Yes.
So the Wildcats have possession of the ball. They're looking to the sidelines. You have Blaze Wishin in the quarterback position. He has a tailback sitting next to him, and there's a whistle before the snap. Looks like it's going to be false. Oh, no. Before they could get it, they got a false start. A timeout. Looked like it was going to be false start. There's a lot of them that jumped, but luckily the coach was watching too.
Now, on the play before, it was third down before we came back from break, and Har-Ber tried to run it out to the right, and number 38, Will Shelton, was able to force him out of bounds. So there was a very good play by the Bruins defense to force the fourth down. And as Josh indicated, they are still going to go for it on fourth down, even though it's 4th and 11 coming up.
It is interesting to see them adopt that. Of course, Pulaski Academy's been doing that for years. You've got that's one of the things that Coach Kelly is famous for. I've seen lots of folks talk about it, and of course, he attributes that to just facts. Looking at the numbers themselves. He's very smart when it comes to statistics and looking at, what does it take to actually flip the script, so to speak, and just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean that's the reason to do it. So it makes me wonder what's their philosophy tonight. Are they just doing that because PA's here, or are they going to be doing this the rest of the season as well?
That's a good question.
So there's the snap on 4th and 11. There's the pass. It's a big, long pass. Wow, and it's complete. Goodness gracious, it's complete to number 2, Hunter Wood of the Wildcats at the 1-yard line. So that will obviously move the chains for Har-Ber, and they'll have first and goal with 11:48 remaining in the second quarter.
You cannot blame Blake Titus, who was the defender, on that. I mean, he did everything he could to try to prevent that pass from being caught. And the receiver just came up with an incredible play. I thought for a second it was he bobbled it, but he still somehow came up with it without hitting the ground. So
Blaze he now has the play from the coach, and he's relaying that up to the offensive line. He has behind him number 10 again, Malachi Campbell. And it looks like that's his workhorse one more time. Campbell came up from behind him. He handed it off, and he sailed over the defensive line into the end zone for a touchdown for Har-Ber.
As Josh indicated, we do not have the stats for Mr. Campbell, but he looks like a very large gentleman. So when he wants to go somewhere, you better have at least 2 guys in front of him, and they did not have those guys in that play or in several of the plays before that. And
when he stands there next to Nick Buchanan, number 13, he's just above him there. Mm-hmm. When the two of them are standing together, Nick Buchanan is 5'11", and it looks like Malachi Campbell has at least 3 inches on him, so he's probably around 6'2". And
they're going for it for 2.
They're going to go for the 2-point conversion, and of course, let's see, Blaze Wishin carries on the ball, goes straight through the defensive line, but there's a play on the field, a flag on the field.
It looks like number 14 was arguing with the ref afterwards, and he might have got called on something. He was a receiver on the right side of the field.
That would have been Lucas Sawyer. I'm not sure what he just said. That was not that was not an official signal. So it's hard to tell what the call was.
So
I'm not
illegal
sure.
substitution, maybe? I don't.
So looks like they're going to try the point after attempt again.
Yeah, he's going for it on 2. And that's one thing about playing against Pulaski Academy is, if they convert the 2-point conversion, then the other team's going to have to match them. And it just kind of forces their hand.
So there's Wishon in the shotgun. He's going to carry again, but this time he is brought down at the 8-yard line, so the point after attempt is no good.
Fooled me once, shame on you. Fool him twice, it did not happen. They tried to run almost the exact same play, except he ran to the left side instead of the right, and which was the short side, and they had enough defenders over there to bring him down.
So that was a substitution infraction, that last penalty. And so now we have a current score. Pulaski Academy still leading 8-6 against the Har-Ber Wildcats. During the first quarter, we had Pulaski Academy's time of possession was 7 minutes and 14 seconds, practically half of the first quarter. Bratcher went 9 of 16 for. Is that right? Is that 154 yards? Yeah, looked like a 7. I thought, no way, 754 yards. That is a lot of passing in one quarter of football. So we thank Brooks Beasley for giving us those stats tonight. And for being up here with us in Springdale.
One thing the Wildcats are not doing is the onside kick.
They're not. They are kicking it deep, and here's another one of those just now. The kick is up, it's high, and it is fielded at the 18-yard line by number 1, Mason Cobb. He is forced out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, the Bruins' own 31-yard line. So that's where they get possession of the ball. First down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins. We have 11 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the first half. And, of course, the Bruins are leading the Har-Ber Wildcats 8-6.
Kolb made the right call there. There weren't a whole lot of blockers in front of him. He just tried to pick up the yardage he could and got out of bounds without risking a fumble or anything else.
So there's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his right. There's a receiver. He has that's number 11, Nate Cumming. And he is brought down at about the 36-yard line. That'll be about a 4-yard gain for second down for the Bruins.
That was a screen pass out to the right. They sent a bunch of receivers deep and then just found number 11 up there on the right side. He had a lot of room to work with.
So now the Bruins are at the 36-yard line. Second down, about 6 yards to go. There's the snap to Bratcher. He immediately hands off to Jaden Kelly. He runs around the right side, and he is brought down at about the 44-yard line. That will move the chains. First down, Bruins.
I'm not even sure Bratcher actually touched that ball. I mean, it looked like Kelly just jumped in front of him and took off with it.
It was smooth. If he touched it at all, it was a smooth handoff. So now we have first down from the 43-yard line for the Bruins. And Bratcher is waiting. He's counting it off. There's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his left. He's going to throw it. There's the pass out to Henry. It is incomplete. Went just through his hands and over his head. He was positioned well at the 50-yard line. It was interesting. He had number 28 of the Wildcats. That's well, he's not even listed there, but I see his jersey. It says 28, but he turned around and saw Henry standing behind him and ran over to cover him. So it was just a missed pass there for the Bruins. Now we have second down, 10 yards to go. There's the snap. Bratcher's looking to his left. This time he gets the completed pass to number 4, Merritt Jones, and that will bring up third down and about 3 yards to go for the Bruins from their own 49-yard line.
Number 48 for the Wildcats, Matt Wright. He took a hit just trying to defend the receiver there.
So there's the snap. Bratcher has it. He's looking, and there's Henry. He has the reception. Henry is running down the field at about the 20-yard line. He's forced out of bounds at about the 18, 19-yard line. Another first down for the Bruins.
I'm not sure who that defender was that was on Henry, but
looked like Griffin Clampett from here. Looked like number 21.
Okay, he did not make a play that he needed to make, and
so
Henry had to have two defenders force him out of bounds by the time he was taken out.
So Henry comes off the field Bratcher is out there with Caleb. Excuse me, is that Caleb Nichols? Excuse me, no, that's Jaden Kelly on his left. There's the pass into the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins. It was complete to number 4, Merritt Jones. Another 19-yard pass for a touchdown for the Bruins.
Jones was not even looking at the ball when Bratcher threw it to him. I mean, that was beautifully timed. As soon as he turned around, that ball was coming right at him, and he had 2 or 3 more yards to go ahead and get into the end zone after he caught it.
Brilliant play. The Bruins leading 14-6 with 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first half. And it looks like we are going to kick a field goal for the point after attempt.
That is a smart call considering the other team did not convert the and it looks like a encroachment on the defense probably.
Well, we've got fingers pointing on both sides. We'll see what the white hat has to say about it.
Or was it? Oh.
Yep.
I did not see any movement by the Bruins, but must have been something.
There's a lot of PA fans know from last year. They always kind of do that funky little, kind of old Dallas Cowboys type set up there to try and get a jump off sides on the extra point.
Interesting.
Or actually, no, that was one of us. Never mind, scratch that.
So we have number 8, Clay James. His kick is up, and it's good. Of course, after the penalty was assessed, they kicked it from about the 10-yard line, but the extra point is good. So the Bruins lead 15-6 with 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in this half. We've got a lot more football to go. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer.
Real quick, try your animated. Oh.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, use your mic on.
Wildcats are hosting Pulaski Academy. Our score, Bruins 15, Wildcats 6 with 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Bruins are getting ready to kick off after their most recent score. It's another onside kick off of the foot of number 8. That's Clay James. And looks like the Wildcats did field that onside kick. They'll take possession of the ball at about the 43-yard line.
The Wildcats did have one receiver or one guy on the receiving team who did touch it, and it almost worked out for the Bruins, but unfortunately the man behind him was able to jump on it and save it for him.
So on that last play, it was interesting. We had 6 plays that resulted in a 68-yard drive. It finalized with a 19-yard pass by Braden Bratcher to Merritt Jones. It took 1 minute, 11 seconds off the clock. It was an outstanding drive by the Bruins.
And they are back to their workhorse. I think is that Campbell again?
That looked like number 10. That's right, Malachi Campbell doing it again for the Wildcats. That'll give them about a 4-yard gain. Second down, 6 yards to go for the Wildcats.
They're going to need to find an answer to him because I feel like they are seeing a weakness, the Wildcats are, and they're not going to stop until the Bruins can stop them.
That's right. So Blaze Wishton, he has the snap. He hands off immediately to Malachi Campbell, but this time he gets nothing going. He's stopped immediately by number 2 of the Bruins. I think that was Jack Polk. Let's see, or is that 7? No, that's 7. Chris Connell. That's right. So Chris Connell out there making the stop immediately, and about a yard loss for the Wildcats, so that'll bring up third down, 7 yards to go.
You think after that tackle they discussed anything about physics?
I don't know. Earlier in the broadcast, you may have heard us say, Chris Connell, on the first day of school, he told me that he was really looking forward to his physics labs. So there's the snap. Wishton is looking. He looks to the right, and his pass is up, and it's intended for number 44. That's Arrington McCray, but it's broken up by number 36 of the Bruins, Bennett Perkins. And so that's nothing going for the Wildcats. Fourth down, 7 yards to go from their own 46-yard line.
Perkins was in perfect place to force the quarterback to try to throw it over his head, and it ended up going both over the receiver's head and the defender's head.
So here's fourth down. Wishon in the shotgun, looking to the sidelines to confirm the play, it looks like. And there's the snap. He's looking to his right immediately, and he's sacked in the backfield. He fumbles the ball. Pulaski Academy picks it up. It's fumbled again. Now you've got a dog pile at about the 21-yard line. Let's see who comes up with it.
Judging by the reaction of the Pulaski Academy sideline.
That's right. You've got judges pointing. You've got first down, Pulaski Academy. Outstanding. See, and that's, again, that's their third mistake tonight that they've made that Pulaski Academy has been able to capitalize on.
Well, and the receiver and the quarterback was looking to try to hit him and buy just enough time for the defender to get in the backfield and strip him of the ball.
So now Pulaski Academy has possession at the Wildcats' 22-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go with 8:50 remaining in the half. There's the snap to Bratcher. He hands off immediately to Jaden Kelly, and he runs through the defense. Looks like he made about a 9-yard gain on the play. Let's see where they place it. Yeah, about a 9-yard play. That'll bring up second down. Back it up one more. So we've got an 8-yard gain. Second down, 2 yards to go for the Bruins from the Wildcats' 14-yard line.
The Bruins are giving the Wildcats a little taste of their own medicine by running up the middle.
That's right. There's the snap. Looks like it's handed off to Isarius Woods. He again goes right up the middle, and he stopped at about the 7-yard line. That'll move the chains. That'll be first and goal for the Bruins.
Once again, just running it up the middle. They can't stop it. And no sense in not trying it again.
And, of course, now you'll hear that loud sound, that roar that you're hearing in the background. That is their band. That is the Har-Ber Wildcat Band. And their drum majors are out there, getting everybody riled up. And their drums are drumming, and the kids are kicking the floor. It's great. So there's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his right. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, J.D. White with the reception. That's about a 7-yard pass for a touchdown from Braden Bratcher to J.D. White with 7:52 remaining on the clock. Bruins lead 21-6.
He was wide open. Both of the defenders on that right side bid on something. I guess he made a move, and then he was behind them before they knew it. And you could just kind of see the surprise in their faces as the ball sailed past them.
So we have Clay James out there to kick the point after attempt, and there's a flag on the play before the snap.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution against the Bruins.
Someone did not get off the field in time. It looks like they probably had 12 men up there and tried to rush that 12th man off and just couldn't get in time.
Interesting. Had they snapped the ball yet?
No, but I guess because they broke the huddle, I think is how it works.
Okay, yeah. So there's the snap to Clay James. The ball is up off of his foot, and it is good. So that makes the score 22-6. Bruins leading the Wildcats here in Springdale.
I say break the huddle. They don't really ever. Pulaski Academy doesn't ever huddle, but
not necessarily. No, they don't.
Once they get into formation, the referees, you can't have more than 11 men on the field.
Sure, absolutely. So let's see. We have 7:52 remaining in this quarter. We've got Bruins leading 22-6. Let's go ahead and take a 10-second pause for station identification. You're listening to PA Bruin .1 FM, The Answer. The Bruins lead 22-6. So it's 7:52 remaining in this first half of tonight's game, the first game of the season. And so far it has been a lot different from the scrimmage that we saw out of Pulaski Academy that last week. And honestly, thank goodness for that.
One thing I'll be interested to see is the past 2 times on the onside kicks, the Bruins have put the ball just perfectly flat. And a lot of times what you see is they'll lay it at an angle upwards. Looks like I can't really see because the kickers.
So here's what's interesting. The kicker out there tonight is Savannah Goodwin, the only freshman on the team. And and she kicks an onside kick to about the 40, looks like about the 46, 47-yard line, where it's fielded by the Wildcats. Looks like they'll place it at about the 48, and that's where the Wildcats will take possession of the ball.
That ball just did not get far enough upfield to give the Bruins a chance to recover it, unfortunately.
No, it didn't. You know, it's interesting. Earlier, just this year, a couple of weeks ago, I had a chance to talk with Coach Blake Amsler, and I asked him how many different onside kicks do they have, and he said somewhere around 10. 10 different onside kicks. Isn't that awesome? So now the Wildcats have possession of the ball at the Bruins' 48-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Wishson has the snap. He looks to his right. The pass is complete to number 1. That's Micah Seawood, and he runs the ball up for about an 8-yard gain. Well, let's see. That's about a 5-yard gain from the line of scrimmage. They're still moving it. They continue to move that ball. So now we have the ball placed at about the 41-yard line. It's 2nd down, about 3 yards to go for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that screen pass to the right, he had one blocker in that bottom, at least 4 or 5 more yards that he wouldn't have got otherwise.
All right, there's the snap to Whitson. He's looking straight down the field. He's got no one there. It was intended for number 13. That's Nick Buchanan, but he was about 10 yards away from where that pass landed.
Yeah, he was running a curl route, and the quarterback was looking for a go route. So, yeah, that ball sailed at least 10 yards over him.
So now the Bruins will be in another 3rd down. And there's a false start against the Wildcats.
The Wildcats just continue to hurt themselves with these penalties, especially in the middle of the field. It seems like every time they get right around that 45-yard line, they just decide they're going to give up yardage. We'll take it.
It's interesting. You're right. I hadn't noticed that. It's right about the same spot in the field. They just kind of – there it is.
I wonder if there's some sort of communication problem there or
I don't know. Well, now that they've assessed the penalty, they've placed the ball at about the 46-yard line. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for the Wildcats. And they're ready for the snap. Wishson is back there. He's got the snap in hand. He's looking straight down the field, and he's sacked. He is taken down. Let's see who that is. Number 20.
82.
27.
82. I thought 82 got him.
82 and 27. So you had Clinton Wilson and Garrett Pritchard both back there responsible for that sack. That'll give them about a 5-yard loss. So that'll bring up 4th down, 14 yards to go for Har-Ber.
The running back tried to block Garrett Pritchard, and he just kind of ran over him, got back into the backfield, and was able to bring the quarterback down. That's what you want to see, especially when the quarterback has a little more time, it looks like, and they try to have that running back defending for him, and if you can just run over him or run around him.
So it looks like the Wildcats will punt this one away on 4th and 14. There's the snap. The punt is up off the foot of number 15. That's Blaze Wishson himself serving as the punter tonight. So as always, the Bruins run off the field. They won't field punts. Just let it roll. So they'll spot the ball at about the 15-yard line where the Bruins will take possession. We have 5 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the first half of tonight's game. The Bruins leading 22-6 over the Har-Ber Wildcats.
It looks like they're having going back to the empty backfield on offense. Bratcher throws it over the middle to Henry, who catches it. No, is that Henry? Yep, catches it for the 1st down. Picks up about 11 yards on the gain there. That was a good route run by Henry, and Bratcher just saw him wide open, was able to pick up the 1st down yardage they needed.
So there's 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins. Bratcher has the ball. He hands off immediately to number 21, Jaden Kelly. He runs it up, easily gets the 1st down. He's stopped at about the 45-yard line. Looks like forward possession is going to stop at about the 46. Yeah, forward progression there stops about the 46-yard line. That'll move the chains for the Bruins. And I'm not sure if there's someone injured over there, if they're just taking their time getting up. Yeah, he's just taking his time getting up.
That was a really good job by the offensive line. They just opened a huge hole for him, and he was able to drive right through it and pick up that yardage.
So 1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own 46-yard line. Braden Bratcher is in the shotgun position with Jaden Kelly to his left. He has 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. There's the snap. Bratcher's looking to his right, looking straight ahead. There it is, all the way down the field, and it's overthrown. He was intending for number 11, Nate Cumming, and it looks like he overthrew it about 5 yards there.
Yeah, well, and he tried to give Cumming as much time as he could to get open, and the offensive line and was trying to block for as long as they could, and you know he just threw it away as soon as the defender was coming in to hit him. So yeah, it was better safe than sorry throw. Try to get it as far down the field as he could.
So that brings up 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins from their own 46-yard line. There's the snap to Bratcher. He's looking to his left. There's the pass. It's caught by Henry. Henry's still on his feet. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Touchdown. Hudson Henry.
Unfortunately, it's going back. I believe they caught him for holding on number 61, which
there is a penalty flag on the field. And looks like the official is out there talking to Coach Kelly.
Oh.
Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Yeah. Penalties declined. Oh, no, okay. They'll assess the penalty on the kickoff.
Okay. I thought they were going to get number 61 for holding, but I guess there was a face mask. He must have grabbed his mask while they were falling down.
Yeah, it looked inadvertent.
Yeah.
But you've still got to be careful of that. You got to watch for it. So here's the point after attempt by number 8, Clay James. And let's see if they get this one off without a penalty this time. Looks like the kick is up. Looks like it might have been tipped just a little bit, but the kick is good. Looks like the Bruins still leading 29-6 with 4:55 remaining before halftime. And the Har-Ber band has left their seats. That might have had something to do with that extra point attempt just now. Just saying, they were quite influential those first couple of quarters.
Well, and on that extra point, that actually looked like one of the onside kicks you sometimes see where they try to loft it over. Maybe you're trying to get a little practice in since they haven't succeeded yet.
Josh, just want to let you know we've got a special guest back here. Roger Green, former Bruin, former Razorback, former Trojan. So whenever you want to get a little commentary from him, he's available.
Outstanding. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Green. All right, we'll hear from him shortly. We've got 4:55 remaining in the first half. The Bruins lead the Wildcats 29-6. So the Bruins currently have their defense on the field. The Wildcats will take possession. It looks like – oh, excuse me. They're kicking – That's funny. He's just going to assume that it's the onside kick. It's quite interesting what they've got going on out here. They just lined up right in front of the Bruins.
And it looks like we got a loose ball, and judging by the reaction.
Bruins have it. The Bruins have it.
That's the first time tonight that the onside kick has succeeded. It was number 8, so it was not Savannah this time.
No, that was Clay James.
Okay. Clay James made that kick, and it looks like one of the Wildcat
it was quite confusing.
Yeah, he had the ball, and then I think he may have taken a lick, and it knocked it out of his hands. And then I'm not sure who on the Bruins side jumped on it, but it was a success nonetheless.
That's crazy that the Bruins are already back with the offense on the field. That last drive included 4 plays for 85 yards. It resulted in a 46-yard touchdown pass by Braden Bratcher to Hudson Henry, and it took only 1 minute and 3 seconds off the clock. And looks like we've got another big play coming here.
That was a little misdirection
there.
That
was number 11, Nate Cumming, with the carry, running around the right side of the field, and he makes about a 20-yard gain on the play.
Looked like it. The quarterback pretended to pitch the ball to the left side and then threw it to the right. It was almost a screen pass to the right side, to the short side, and
Someone is injured over there around the 6-yard line.
Looks like for the Wildcat, defender number 4.
Yeah, that's
Jay Burns.
Jay Burns.
He's
Let's go. As they're tending to him, let's go ahead and take a short break. Let's go ahead and take a injury timeout. This is brought to you by Ortho Arkansas. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Where the Bruins are first and goal from about the 9-yard line, the Wildcats' 9-yard line. There's the snap to Bratcher. He hands off immediately to Mason Cobb, and there's the touchdown. About a 9-yard run for Mason Cobb, and it looks like there's a Bruin down on the play. Is that Bratcher? I'm not sure who that is. It's an official timeout. Oh, he is not in a good way.
That is not what you want to see. So they had a man in motion, and he faked the handoff to the running back, cutting across from the left to the right side of the field. And then they just handed it to Kolb, who shot straight up the middle and was able to get in the end zone without being touched, it looked like.
Looks like they're gonna evaluate his injury out there. Let's go ahead and take another break real quick.
Did we confirm that's Bratcher?
I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. It looks like he's covered up with folks right now. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll have some more information hopefully when we come back. Let's take an injury timeout. Brought to you by Ortho Arkansas. We'll be back in another 30 seconds. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM. Clay James, the extra point attempt is good. The Bruins lead 36-6 against the Har-Ber Wildcats with 4 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this half.
Well, and you hate to see Vaughn go down with an injury. Hopefully he'll be able to shake it off. He was able to walk off on his own power, but as well as the Bruins have done going up the middle, he must be doing something right since he's right there in the middle of the action every play, opening up holes and making sure that the delivery to the quarterback is done smoothly every time. We'll just have to see if he or McCarver comes out on the next possession.
Thomas Vaughn, he's 6'4" junior, 305 pounds. Let me tell you, he's a big old boy.
Yeah.
And so right to his left, typically at left guard, is number 54, Chase McCarver. Chase McCarver will probably come in as his replacement at center. So here's some information on that last drive. It was a 2-play, 34-yard drive, and it resulted in a 9-yard touchdown run by Mason Cobb. It only took 15 seconds off the clock.
And there is the kick. Looks like the Wildcats have recovered it. It was a good kick. It was just a good job by the Wildcat receiver on the other end to jump on top of the ball. He just fell right on it and didn't give the Bruins a chance to get near it.
And that's really the only thing that you can do against those onside kicks is just, jump for it, wrap it up, get on the ground. And so that's one of the best defenses for that kick.
I'd be interested to see the stats on how often the Bruins recover the ball on those onside kicks. Tonight, they really haven't had a whole lot of success. Of course, they've had a lot of chances to do it, which is terrific.
Right.
Look, considering the score at 36-6, but only converting one of those is unfortunate.
Here's the Wildcats in 1st and 10 from about the 46-yard line. The pass is intended for number 1, Micah Seawood. It's incomplete. Excuse me.
The quarterback was rolling out to the right, and he was clearly, there was only one man he was looking at because there's only one receiver on that side of the field, and I did not catch who the defender was, but he was on top of it and wasn't going to go far, but it fell just out of the hands of the receiver.
So now the Wildcats are ready for the snap. There it is. Wishon is scrambling out of the pocket. He's got Bruins all over him, and they finally, looks like number 30 and number 50, that's 13, 50 and 13. Excuse me, 30 and 13. I tell you, it's really difficult to see these gold numbers on the white jerseys at this distance, but they forced him out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down, 16 yards to go for Har-Ber with 4:29 remaining in this half.
Well, and Clint Wilson has just been in their backfield all night. I mean, he's got a fire set up. He's got a tent set up. I mean, he's just making himself he's just going camping out there because they cannot stop him.
So here comes 3rd down. There's the snap to Wishon. He's looking to his right. He's going to scramble. He's got a defender on top of him, and he's sacked. 32. He gets taken down by number 32 of the Bruins. That's Fuda Shinkawa. Of course, I should have known that. He's dropped at about the 29-yard line, and that will bring up 4th and a truck ride to go for the Har-Ber Wildcats. If you're not familiar with Fuda Shinkawa is, of course, one of the players of the Bruins baseball team, and to watch him run is to see something special. That guy can move.
I mean, he was fast. Like, that's the first person that's really and truly caught the quarterback tonight on the run.
I'm not surprised to see that. So now we have 4th down, 29 yards to go for the Wildcats. They're going to punt it away from about the 29-yard line, and so the Bruins will run off the field. The ball will be downed at the Bruins' 37-yard line. We have 3 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in this half. The Bruins lead the Wildcats 36-6.
After a rocky start in that first quarter where no one was scoring, the Bruins on both sides of the ball seemed to have turned it up a notch, and they just seem to have momentum going. I don't think the Wildcats have been beyond their Bruin 45-yard line in a while. So that's what you want to see from that defense.
So now Pulaski Academy takes possession of the ball at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:31 remaining in the half. There's the snap. Bratcher's pass was intended for number 4, Merritt Jones. It's incomplete. Looks like he had lots of coverage all over him.
Is he out there?
Thomas Vaughn, I'm not sure if he is out there. Let's see. I don't see him out there. Who is at the center position? It looks like Chase McCarver is filling in at center, number 54.
Unfortunately, that's about the 4th pass that Bratcher's thrown high tonight.
So there's the snap to Bratcher. He's rolling out to the right. He's looking, and there's this pass. It's complete to number 4, Merritt Jones. That's enough to move the chains. They'll take the ball up to the 49-yard line. And 1st down, Bruins.
It looks like the Bruins have found a matchup they like with who's number 4?
Merritt Jones.
Merritt Jones.
Yeah.
So that's the second time they've gone to him. Both times it's been on that right side. Both times he's had a few yards. It's just the second time it succeeded.
So there's 1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own 48-yard line. 3:23 remaining. There's the snap. Bratcher looking downfield. His pass is complete. That's number 5, J.D. White. He's brought down at about the 38-yard line. That again will move the chains. 1st down, Bruins.
And once again, they're passing it over the middle. They found something in that defense that they like to attack tonight.
So now the Bruins at the Wildcats' 35-yard line. There's the snap. That's number 21, Jaden Kelly with the carry. And he's brought up to Wow, he's brought all the way up to about the 24-yard line. Another first down for the Bruins. What is that, 3 in a row?
3 in a row, and that's a well-executed play. I mean, 3 times in a row they pass over the middle, and then they have a sweep play across the middle to the right. He just found yardage.
Now with 3 minutes and counting on the clock, first down, 10 yards to go. Bruins lead 36-6. Bratcher is looking to the sidelines to get the play from Coach Kelly. There's the snap. Bratcher's looking to his left. There's the pass. It's complete to number 5, J.D. White. Touchdown, Bruins.
Wow. White bobbled that ball for a sec, then caught it, and then he looked like number 27 for the Wildcats was going to make a tackle on him, and he jumped at just the right time.
He did.
Just right out of his reach and was able to get in the end zone.
Carter Carlton, the offensive linebacker, of course, with the coverage, but and kind of spooked him there to see. He's like, hey, there's a guy here. So J.D. White ran it in for the touchdown.
That's the kind of drive you want to see, just touchdown or first down, and then touchdown.
Outstanding. Here's Clay James with the point after attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. So Pulaski Academy currently leading Har-Ber Wildcats 43-6 with 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's go ahead and take a short break. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Yeah, a lot of times they'll just use their hat, throw it out there. But honestly, it looks like he's holding it in his hand. Yeah, it's back on his head. So
the tension in the stadium has risen quite a bit after that.
Well,
little
and you know,
skirmish.
it's funny because honestly, I've had a chance before the game. Here we go. Here's the call.
Yeah. Number 4.
So that was against, let's see, we had an unsportsmanlike call against number 4 of the Wildcats, Jay Burns, and he is disqualified and will be leaving the field shortly. Wow, we're lucky that no one.
That is a starting, let's see here, right cornerback. That's not what you want to see in the Wildcats.
Absolutely not.
Side, but
that's going to hurt them. It looks like one of the officials is still over there talking with Coach Kelly and his offensive line coaches.
Well, and it looks like Coach Kelly had to huddle up with the entire team, probably telling them, keep your tempers under control. We got this win. We don't need to do anything stupid.
You know, this isn't a rivalry. This isn't a heated match. You know, I walked around the stadium before the game and was greeted by several of the fans. They welcomed us, said, hope you have a nice evening. Let's go ahead and continue with the game here. We have a pass from the Wildcats. It was intended for number 2. That's Hunter Wood, but it's incomplete. But there is a flag on the play at about the 28-yard line.
Looks like it was probably a late hit. It was near the quarterback, unfortunately. Who's number 24?
24 of the Bruins. That's Caleb Nichols.
Okay. Oh.
Wow. So number 10 of the Wildcats, of course, we've seen him all night. That's Malachi Campbell. And then, of course, number 24, Caleb Nichols. There's penalties on both sides of the ball. They offset. Here's another first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats from their own 35-yard line. There's the pass. And was the pass complete when he was down? It looked to me like the pass was complete, but let's see what the officials have to say about it.
They're going back to the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
Yeah, they called the play dead, so I'm afraid it would have worked out in Bruins' advantage. Unfortunately, they'd already called the play dead.
So now they have second down, 10 yards to go from their own 35-yard line. Wishon has the ball. He hands off immediately to number 10, Malachi Campbell, and he pushes up to about the 38-yard line, 39-yard line, looks like where they'll get the spot. So that'll bring up third down, about 6 yards to go.
They're trying to run the clock, it looks like, because they're not in any hurry to get up to the line of scrimmage, and they're running up the middle like that. They just looks like they're trying to get out of this half.
So now the Wildcats have the ball at their own 39-yard line, third down, 6 yards to go, 1:45 remaining in the half. The clock is still counting. The Bruins leading the Wildcats 43-6. There's the snap to Wishon. It's a shovel pass over to number 10, Malachi Campbell, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage at about the 32-yard line. That'll end up being about wow, they gave him a generous spot on that one, if you ask me.
Wow.
But that's about a 3-yard loss.
Is that number 30? Looked like the tackle was made by is that number 30? No, that would be 38 maybe.
30 with the stop.
Woods? Isarius Woods out there on defense. Playing both ways tonight, I guess.
So now the Wildcats will punt yet again. There's the kick off of their quarterback's foot, and they will down the ball at about the 18-yard line. We have 47 seconds remaining in the half. Again, the Bruins leading the Har-Ber Wildcats 43-6. The Bruins will take possession at their own 18-yard line.
This being my first game to do, does Isarius Woods, does he normally play both ways? Or
I don't recall it. Yeah, he's a sophomore this year, so I don't remember him playing defense in the past.
The Bruins rarely play both ways until they're in tight situations.
Okay.
So here's the Bruins with 1st and 10. There's Bratcher with the carry. He's going to keep it going to the right side. He runs out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. That'll be about a 2-yard gain, depending on this penalty flag.
And the flag was thrown in about the
Looks about the
16-yard line.
Mhm.
So,
Ouch. That's a holding call against the Bruins. Number 55, that's Graham Shear.
now, at this point, if you're any other coach, you're probably thinking, let's just go ahead and get out of this half with the 37-point lead. But I'm not sure if Coach Kelly's thinking that. We'll just see on this next play if he goes pass or rush.
So we have 41 seconds remaining in the half. The Bruins leading the Wildcats 43-6. Here's the snap. Handoff is immediately to Jaden Kelly. Looks like maybe a 1-yard gain. Yeah, 1-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down, about 16 to go.
Well, and looks like the Wildcats are going to be fine with the clock running out, so we're headed to halftime, I believe.
Looks that way.
They have 2 timeouts left, and they're not eager to use them. Well, there's enough time for one more play. And then it's a run up the middle, and we are headed to halftime.
So just some information. Of course, John Gorman, good friend of mine, tells me that Woods played middle linebacker for the 9th grade last year.
Well, there you go.
Always good to have that information there. So the time left on the clock is 0. We're going into halftime. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back shortly, and during halftime, I want to talk to a couple of our great teachers in the drama department, Sheridan and Drew Posey. They're going to tell us what's going on in the drama department at the school. We'll get some other scores from around the state, and we'll talk to one of PA's alum here in the studio. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back here. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Good evening and welcome back to Pulaski Academy Bruin football, playing tonight at Har-Ber High School in Springdale. Joining me now is Mr. and Mrs. Posey, Sheridan Posey and Drew Posey in the arts department. Good evening.
Hello.
Good to be here.
So one of the things that, of course, I want to talk about is Drew is a brand new teacher this year.
That's right. Brand new to PA. I'm teaching stagecraft, and we are expanding the theater department to include technical classes now. So it's good to be here.
So what classes are you doing this year?
For upper school, I am teaching stagecraft. I am teaching intro to technical theater for the middle school. I'm teaching theatrical design and graphic design.
That's a lot.
It is.
So what is, I mean, I can imagine, I mean, of course, I've known you for a couple of years, ever since, I think Sheridan joined the school, and I know that you've had a huge hand in already doing a lot of the set designs and things for the plays in the past. But how does that transfer into the classroom? How do you do that?
So yeah, I've considered myself the resident scenic designer for the last 3 years. So all of the productions that we've put up, I've pretty much had to do by myself. So now it's really great that we have students that are interested in being a part of this process. So we're kind of tiptoeing into how to build scenery. Our first big project is to redo choir risers. It's the same approach that I would do for anything that's going on the stage, and we actually began that process today. So I've had 2 classes in there. We've built some platforms, and they're all doing really well. They've got great energy, and I think once we start building for our productions, they'll really start to see the process unfold. You really kind of have to start with the general, and then you can get really specific, and they will see this art come together in a brand new way.
So, you mentioned the choir risers. They obviously needed that this year, especially because Katie Dudley, the choir director, is excited that they have over 80 members of the choir this year.
That's right. That's right. And the risers they have now hold about 40. So they're going to be a lot bigger. They're going to wrap around. They're going to be very nice.
Wow. That's a fun thing, and it's great that the students in your classes get to help participate and create those. And so even if they're not involved on the stage in the arts, they still have a hand in that. And so they might actually come out to a choir concert and say, "Hey, Mom, look, I helped make that."
That's right. I encourage my students to support the arts and to support the theater and the choir and the band, because we will provide things for them. We will build bandstands for the jazz concerts. Obviously,
Oh, wow.
We will build the sets for our productions. And I've told them they don't have to love theater to love building and to love making things. But I encourage them to support the department and to bring friends to the productions and take pride in their work and show it off. I think seeing their work on stage is going to really inspire them to keep doing good work.
Right, and it's another creative outlet in itself. Creating something that's even that it's a stage, or it's a set of risers, that is part of the creation process. And so even if someone's not into singing or acting, it's great that they have that additional outlet as an opportunity. So how well received have the classes been so far this year? I mean, I assume you have plenty of students filling them.
I do. Actually, the numbers were kind of all over the place at the beginning of the school year, but they've all leveled out, and I'm at max capacity for 3 sections, which is really great. I'm so glad that the classes have grown, and it seems like we've got some really good chemistry in those classes. So, yeah,
Great.
it's nice. It's nice to have that kind of support.
And this is, of course, your first foray into high school teaching. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. I've never taught at a high school. This is my first time experiencing that. My only teaching experience has been through the Summer Theater Academy at the Arkansas Art Center Children's Theater.
Okay.
I've done that for the last 4 years.
Right.
I taught scenic design and intro to technical theater, but it was a very condensed course. And so now I'm really able to spend the time developing some skills and cultivate some creativity in the classroom.
It's longer than just a couple of weeks in the summer.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
That's exciting. Well, thanks again. I appreciate it. Sheridan, I know that you've got some exciting news every year. I know personally, I always look forward to finding out, what is the fall play and what's the spring musical and what's going on with the drama department. So what is it this year? Fall play is coming up.
Yes, fall play is coming up. We've just announced that we'll be doing Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, and we are going to do it outdoors. So we'll be performing it in our very own Bruin Park on campus.
Nice.
And that's coming up October 6th and 7th.
Okay.
So we have auditions this week. It's a very exciting time around the theater department. And then we'll start rehearsing in a couple of weeks.
Now, auditions, that's something that can be very, I won't say traumatic, but it can be nerve-wracking
It
for
can
students. So what is that process like for someone who's not involved in drama?
Well, as I announce over our intercom system, even for the students who aren't in class with me, I will teach them everything they need to know. So I try to reassure them that if they've never performed Shakespeare, or even some of the younger grades, 7th through 12th can audition for this actually. Even if they haven't read a Shakespeare yet, they can get audition material from me. They can work on it with me if they want to ahead of time, and I'll give them notes and help them. And then I just encourage them to come in and do their best. I assure them that I understand nerves. I've been there before. A shaky hand or a shaky leg is not going to break their audition. So we try to make it as comfortable and simple of a process as possible for the students.
Sure. That makes sense. So what's going on with the drama program, new or exciting in your classes this year?
Well, I don't have any new classes this year. This is my 4th year, and my classes have finally started to even out a little bit.
Sure.
So they've changed a little bit each year, but we offer theater to 6th through 12th grade, and that's still on the table. Lots of different performance options. We also have a directing class. We have a theater history class, which is our only performance-based history class on campus. We're all very proud of
Awesome.
that. So we study different eras in theater history, and then we actually get to experiment with that on our feet and learn how theater happened in different eras.
Awesome. That sounds like so much fun.
That's our intro to theater class.
That's awesome. Well, I know that we are very excited to have you both here at the school, and look
you.
forward to see what comes out of the drama program here in the near future.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
Good to be here. Thanks.
All right. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a break. You're listening to our halftime show, Pulaski Academy against Har-Ber in Springdale, Arkansas. We'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to 101.1 The Answer.
Well, this is Chris Amsler here alongside Josh Carroll and Holt Short. At the half, the score is Wildcats 6, Bruins 43. We've got a real special guest in the press box tonight with us, Broderick Green, former Bruin star, USC Trojan star, Razorback record holder. You still hold the record for the longest touchdown run, right?
Of course, it's never going to change.
Yeah, that's the way. So, Broderick, we're glad to have you here. First of all, we kind of get your opinion on the first half so far, and then we may want to find out some of the other personal matters. But
oh man, there's a lot of passing and a lot of touchdowns.
What would you expect?
I have no complaints.
So, what do you think about? How about compare today's Bruins to when you were there?
You know, it's totally different. I think we were a lot bigger at the time, so the game has definitely changed size-wise. But there's still a lot of passing, a lot less running now that I'm not there. A lot less running, but still pretty entertaining.
That's not necessarily true. We did pretty good running last year,
yeah, a little bit.
So have you been keeping up with the Bruins much lately?
I try to when I can. You know,
right.
I try to come home and make a game or so, or a couple games throughout the year, and I try to keep word of mouth or something.
Sounds good. So real quick, what do you think the Razorbacks going to do this year?
You know, I'm excited. New coaching staff, new offense. I mean, the positivity is back in the air. So many people around are excited for the season and, ready to get out there and see the new players and, the freshmen coming in. And, I mean, we're all excited. The new recruiting class and, I'm ready to see what happens.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope it goes well. So what all has been going on in your life? I know you were with, let's see, who was it before Tyson? JB Hunt.
Yeah, I was at JB Hunt.
And then now Tyson. So what do you do with Tyson now?
I am a dispatcher, so I oversee about 230 truck drivers delivering meat to all the grocery chains.
So they either, like you or hate you, right?
No, everybody loves me.
Well, that's true. Everybody's always loved Broderick Green. So how do you like Northwest Arkansas?
I love it. I actually plan to be here forever. I don't want to go anywhere else.
And so as we were walking up or coming up on the elevator, you mentioned that you had to like kind of rearrange the schedule with a date tonight. So
yeah,
so how's that going for you?
Sometimes dating is complicated. I'm trying to be like all the married people around here. Everybody's married, got kids, and I'm like, man, you know what? That sounds pretty good. I got to work on that.
Oh man, well we appreciate you. You got anybody you want to shout out to?
Everybody, the whole Bruin family, everybody just having me here. You guys, appreciate y'all letting me come up. Mommy Shoe.
All right. Well, now you explain who that is.
Oh, that's Miss Schuster, Lynn Schuster.
Okay,
of course.
some listeners may not know that.
She knows. Mommy Shoe, yeah. She knows.
Well, we appreciate you dropping in, man, and it's good to see you as always.
No problem.
And
Thanks you guys.
Thanks a lot. And we will be back. We're going to take another break here on Bruin Radio on 101.1 FM, The Answer.
Welcome back to Har-Ber High School. There's got an echo in here all of a sudden, Chris. Welcome back to Har-Ber High School. I'm Joshua Carroll. Here in the studio, I've got Chris Amsler. I've got Brooks Beasley. Oh, it's his radio that was such, probably want to cut that gain back down. And so he turns on the microphone behind us, and all of a sudden we can hear anything. There we go. Let's try it now. Not sure what's going on there with Brooks.
Okay, I'm with you now.
All right, there we go. Now he's on. Welcome back to Har-Ber High School. We've got Pulaski Academy leading the Wildcats 43-6. We just got about 10 seconds on the clock in halftime. They'll add another 3 for warm-ups. In the meantime, Brooks Beasley's been keeping stats for us the entire game. Tell us what kind of summarize this first half for us and tell us what's happened.
Well, when you said you had 10 seconds left, I thought I was going to have to really get after it. But, yeah, you're right. We do have 3 minutes to go. I tell you what, it sure was nice to see Broderick up here. Last year they could have certainly used him, and looks like the rushing game this year is looking pretty good for the Bruins so far. Kind of a quick rundown here. Nothing's official by any means, but Braden Bratcher he was 20 of 30 for 280 yards. And the big highlight of the first half was Hudson Henry. He had 8 catches for 150 yards and 2 TDs. John David White, 4 catches for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the third category in passing there is Merritt Jones. He had 4 catches for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. And like I said, so that's altogether that's a total of 280 yards. And then in the rushing category, the big rusher of the first half was Jaden Kelly. He had 9 carries for 40 yards. Azarius Woods, 5 carries for 32 yards. And I believe it or not, he looks a lot like Broderick there. He's a pretty heavy-set fella, and I believe his brother played for the Bruins last year, Isaiah Woods, who's now down at the University of Arkansas at Monticello. The third category, third person rushing for the Bruins tonight was Caleb Nichols. He had 2 carries for 25 yards. And the last gentleman is Mason Cobb. He had 2 carries for 14 yards and 1 touchdown. So altogether on the rushing end, we had 121 yards. And for the whole first half, which a lot of teams would like to have for a whole game, but the first half the Bruins had 401 total yards.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And one of the things to note here is, of course, Kanan Sandy. A lot of folks might know a local celebrity when they hear of him. He's typically on the sidelines of the Razorback games and whatnot. He's on the sidelines with the Bruins tonight. And so it's always good to see him out supporting the Bruins. I know he's come down to Pulaski Academy a couple of times to see us.
You know, I was at a practice one afternoon, and I saw this lady sitting over there, and I thought, my goodness, hot afternoon like this. And I went over and kind of talked with him and met Sandy, and he's really a character. He's a 100% Bruin and U of A football.
He is. Kanan is well known for being a Woo Pig Suey.
Woo Pig Suey, right. And I've heard it even, Coach Kelly lets him talk to the team sometimes.
Yeah, he has. Absolutely he has. Well, Brooksy, what do you expect to see, if anything? What changes do you expect to see Har-Ber to make in the second half?
Well, as far as making changes, Har-Ber's defense has got to get after the Bruins, and they've got a lot of ground to make up. But I'm going to say I think the Bruins have got this game. I guess you shouldn't really count your chickens before they hatch, but they've got a lot of points to catch up on. I don't think they can do it on the Bruin defense tonight.
Well, we've got about 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Looks like we're getting ready to kick off. Looks like they're wanting to bump up the play clock here.
Pulaski Academy is kicking off in the second half.
Yeah, PA is going to kick off. Looks like number 8, Clay James, their go-to kicker tonight anyway, is going to kick it. It's up in the air, and it's going to be fielded. Well, it's not going to be fielded. He's going to jump back and let it roll out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will take possession of the ball.
Actually, it's going to be a penalty because it went out of bounds, so I think they'll get it at the 35 if it's the same as the college rule.
You're right.
Yep.
And that's why we've got you sitting here. Thank you, Holt.
Glad to know some use.
Of course, always. Folks, if you're out there listening tonight, you have any thoughts on the game, you want to tell us who do you think is tonight's MVP or any other thoughts on the game, go ahead and share it with us on Twitter using #PABruins. Bruins have the ball. Excuse me. Wildcats have the ball. 1st and 10. It's a handoff. Handoff is, looks like the number 22, Max Pena, but I'm not totally sure about that. Looks like number 76 was slow to get up after that play.
Being helped out by number 14 with the Bruins. Like to see that after
Yeah,
the first half
absolutely.
ruckus.
It was Alex Larson that got some help up there. Looks like he's all right, though. So we have it was a 1-yard gain on the play, 2nd down, about 9 yards to go, 11:19 on the clock. There's the snap. Wishton is rolling around the left side. He runs out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. That's about a 2-yard gain, if that ends up being correct.
Looks like Pino and Terry chased him out of the pocket, forced him into that short yardage gain. Now that first play, Har-Ber ran up the middle just like they've been doing in the first half with some success, and it's good to see PA pick up on it and put a stop to it without giving up too many yards.
Absolutely. This is 3rd down, 8 yards to go, 10:38 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. There's the snap. Wishton looking to his right. There's the pass. It's complete to number 1, Micah Seawood. He comes up. He's met by about 4 Bruins at once and dropped at about the 48-yard line. The 49-yard line is where it'll be spotted. That will move the chains. 1st down for the Wildcats.
Bennett Perkins for the Bruins, he saw the pass coming, but he just was not close enough to make a play. And then the Wildcats receiver made a couple of nice moves to pick up some extra yardage after the catch.
So now the Wildcats are at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. There's the snap to Wishton. He's going to pass it deep pass. Whoa, and a push off. It looks like offensive. Nope, it's defensive.
The defender wasn't even looking at the ball. He was might as well have been walking him downfield.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
So that's going to be passing interference against the Bruins.
That's Blake Titus. He unfortunately, his man probably had a beat if he hadn't have held him up. So I hate to give up 15 yards, but if he'd made the catch, it would have been 45.
So that'll bring up 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats from the Bruins' 36-yard line. There's the snap. It's a handoff to number 22, Max Pena. And a little pushing and shoving after the play, and there's a flag. That'll be unsportsmanlike conduct against number 55 of the Wildcats. That's Jack Strubing.
Yeah, that was a couple seconds after the play, and he just got into it with.
Wow, they are really upset about this game.
Well, imagine the scoreboard probably has a little something to do with that.
You know, I tried to go back this week and look. Do you recall if PA has played another 7A team in this? I'm asking Chris Amsler, of course. He would know. I'm not sure.
Well, we definitely played Springdale High School years ago, back in the Malzahn days. And it was at War Memorial Stadium, and they whipped us like we were dogs.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Well, so here's 2nd down for the Wildcats from the 43-yard line, 17 yards to go. And it looks like Wishton with the keep. He's going to get to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped. That's about a 10-yard gain, which had it not been for that huge penalty, that would have been a good play.
Yes, I mean, they pretty much picked up the yardage they just lost and then some, but, you know, they're shooting themselves. And again, once again, it's right at that 45-yard line, that 40-yard line. They're picking up the penalties against the Wildcats. And the Bruins not hesitant to take them.
So there's 3rd down, 7 yards to go from the Bruins' 33-yard line. 8:40 remaining on the clock in the 3rd quarter. There's the rollout to the right by Wishton. He throws it. It's complete. Looks like it's either bobbled or, let's see, yeah, it's recovered by Pulaski Academy. That pass was either bobbled or fumbled somewhere along the line. Pulaski Academy got possession of the ball. They'll take it from the 20-yard line.
Blake Titus redeemed himself right there after that penalty. He stripped the receiver almost split second after he caught the ball, but just in time that it was considered a catch, and Pulaski Academy back with the ball. You know the Wildcats have to be frustrated, you know, having the ball that first possession in the second half and giving it right back up.
That's right. Brooksy is reminding me that we played Cabot, another 7A school, in 2010. That was a recent one. I do remember going there. And Pulaski Academy lost that game 35-34. Thank you, sir. And thanks for John Gorman. He's telling me the same thing. Always nice to have folks listening and helping me out, right?
Well, we got a really good staff around here.
Absolutely.
As I'm learning.
We do. We got just under 8 minutes, 7:57 and counting on the clock. Pulaski Academy leading Har-Ber Wildcats 43-6 in the third quarter. And looks like we have a timeout on the field. Let's go ahead and take a timeout with them. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back here. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Back to Har-Ber High School, where Pulaski Academy is taking on the Har-Ber Wildcats. There's a first down and 10 for the Bruins. There's a handoff from quarterback Braden Bratcher to number 24. That's Caleb Nichols. Doesn't look like there's much to gain on that one. It's about a 3-yard loss on the play. Second down, about 13 yards to go for the Bruins. 7:34 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, he tried to jump outside to the short side, but there were just too many defenders over there, and he didn't have anywhere to go.
So the Bruins have the ball on the hash mark closest to us. They're moving from right to left and looking to Bratcher for the snap. There it is. He's looking to his left, looking straight downfield. He's getting covered up. He's got 3 defenders on him, and he's sacked with about a 2-3 loss on that play.
I believe that's what you could call a coverage sack. Bratcher had enough time to try to find a receiver, but they're just 1-1 open. Number 21, Kelly, was open, but he was only 3 yards in front of him, and he just Bratcher was looking a little deeper than that and couldn't find anyone in time. He was real lucky, though, to wrap the ball up before the defenders were able to strip it, though, because they were certainly looking to do that.
So the Bruins have the ball on their own 14-yard line. Third down, 16 yards to go, 6:36 on the clock and counting. There's the snap. Bratcher rolling out to his right. He's going to keep it. He's going to carry it and run out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Not enough to move the chains yet, but it is a nice play for the Bruins. That'll bring up fourth down, about 6 yards to go. Well, they got a nice, generous spot on that. Looks like 4th and 5.
Well, and once again, Bratcher was flushed out of the pocket. He was looking for receivers, but they were well covered downfield.
So 6:05 on the clock and counting. Bratcher pass is complete to Hudson Henry, it looks like. And that will move the chains. First down, Bruins.
Once again, going to his favorite target. I mean, he just seems to stick out. As big as he is, he just seems like it's easy to find in the field.
He absolutely is. I mean, look at him. He's 6'5", 235-pound senior. He's not a guy you're going to miss.
Nope.
You can see him all day long. Nope. So here's 1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own 34-yard line. 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. There's the snap. He gives it to Isarius Woods. He runs around the right side. He's still working his way up, and he's stopped at about the 44. Look, he looks about the 43-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 1 yard to go for the Bruins.
Well, and that's what you want to see when the Wildcats are playing so deep. I mean, those first 2 plays, they were clearly playing, covering the receivers really well, and so you want to see a good run on the offense from the running back and make them respect it.
So 4:57 on the clock now. Second down, 1 to go. There's the snap. You've got Number 1, Mason Cobb with the carry, runs around the right side, and he runs out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, again moving the chains for the Bruins.
That was a nifty little pitch there to Kolb. He just appeared out of nowhere right in front of the quarterback and tossed it to him. And about half the defenders were already on the right side of the field expecting a pitch to that side. And the PA Bruins were able to take advantage of that.
So now the Bruins have the ball across the 50-yard line. They're in Wildcat territory on the Wildcats' 42-yard line. First down, 10 minutes to go, 4 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. Play clock is at 6. There's the snap. Bratcher's play fake, and it looks like he handed it off to, couldn't really see who that was. It might have been Woods, Isarius Woods.
Woods made about 5 or 6 yards all on his just pure effort there. He had at least one tackler hanging on to him, and then he had another one, and then another one. He still just kept going. He was solely responsible for at least 3 or 4 of those yards, so it was an impressive effort by him.
Outstanding. So the Bruins have the ball on the Wildcats' 37-yard line. Second down, 5 yards to go, 3:47 on the clock and counting. There's the snap. Bratcher hands it off immediately to number 11, Nate Cumming. He runs around the left side of the field, and he's stopped at about the 35-yard line. That's a 2-yard gain on the play. Second down, that'll be third down, 2 yards to go for the Bruins.
I'm feeling another a sense of deja vu. The first quarter, I mean, no one scored anything for the first 10 minutes of the game. Here we are 12 minutes into the second half, and
yeah,
no one's gotten close.
You're absolutely right. So that's third down, about 2 yards to go. Nolan Bruffett now at quarterback. He passes the ball. It's up to about the 30-yard line, complete to number 10, Andrew Cobb. Andrew Cobb, go ahead.
Second stringers are out on the field at this point.
That's right. We've got Andrew Cobb out there, 6'6", 215-pound junior. And like I said a moment ago, we've got number 16, Nolan Bruffett at quarterback, 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. So the Bruins have first and 10 on the Wildcats' 28-yard line, 2:43 remaining on the clock in the third quarter. There's the snap. That is looks like Isarius Woods with the carry. He got it all the way up to about the 20-yard line.
Once again, he's not only carrying the ball, but at least 2 defenders with him.
He did. He was carrying them on his shoulders. What an outstanding effort he's putting in tonight. So that'll bring up second down, about 1.5 yards to go for the Bruins. They're definitely making their way into the red zone now with 2 minutes, 10 seconds and counting on the clock in the third quarter. Of course, the clock is running nonstop at this point because of the sportsmanship rule. That's probably why you were looking at me strange a minute ago. But yeah, the sportsmanship rule, the Bruins are leading. So there's the handoff. Number 1, that's Mason Cobb with the carry. Rakes it up on the right side of the field until he stops at about the 4-yard line. Looks like they'll spot it actually at the 6, give or take. And so it'll be first down and goal for the Bruins at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, that certainly explains my confusion. I was amazed at how quickly this half was moving, but they're not stopping the clock.
That's right. So it's a lot of times you'll see that in Pulaski Academy football. We end up second half when it just kind of sails past. So we have 1 minute 20 seconds remaining on the clock and counting. Bruins lead the Wildcats 43-6, and from the 6-yard line, there's the snap. There's Nolan Bruffett. He hands it off. Not sure. Looks like. Not sure who had the carry there. Woods again. Isarius Woods with the carry. He runs right into the wall of defenders. And no gain on that play unless there was about 1 yard gain maybe. So it'll be second down and second and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, so far not seeing many fans leave. So, there's still hope from the Har-Ber side, I guess.
There's the snap. Woods with the carry once again. He doesn't get anywhere on it. Maybe he makes a couple of yard gain. So that'll be third down and goal for the Bruins.
Can I just add that the band is still filtering in from halftime?
Well, a lot of times and what they did here is that once they came back from halftime, wow, that's even better. I don't know where you found those binoculars. Once they've done their halftime presentation, they go back into the stands, put down their instruments, and a lot of times the director will let them go, get a snack, whatever, and then filter back in. And so a lot of times that's what we'll see in these high school games.
Okay,
So that marks the end of the third quarter. Our score, Bruins are still leading 43-6 against the Har-Ber Wildcats. We'll go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Bruin football on 101.1 FM, The Answer.
Remember, football fans, enjoy.
School where we have Pulaski Academy leading the Wildcats 43-6. Another great play. We have.
Looks like it was Kolb that ran to the left side. He was stopped about 2 yards short of the end zone. We're looking at fourth down.
Fourth down for the Bruins. 2 yards to go. It's 4th and goal. We've got a Wildcat on the field. They've called an injury timeout. Let's go ahead and take one with them. This injury timeout is brought to you by Ortho Arkansas. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM, The Answer. Bruin football. We're at Har-Ber High School in Springdale, Arkansas. Looks like one of the Wildcats were shaken up on the play. Looks like number 6 is walking off. That's Ty Kofer, I believe that's his name. He is walking off on his own power. So I think he just had a cramp there, and they're going to help him hydrate. So the Bruins have the ball at the 2-yard line. It's 4th and goal for the Bruins with 11:39 remaining in the game. There's the snap. And number 1, it looked like, was playing quarterback.
Kolb, he just ran straight up the middle. That was almost a wildcat package. The quarterback wasn't back there. He was out there in the back by himself. No one in motion, and just ran straight up the middle.
It was a perfect play. Good job by Mason Cobb. And good to see him out there on the field tonight. 11:14 remaining. The Bruins leading 49-6 after that touchdown. And looks like, let's see who's coming out to kick the extra point attempt. That is Savannah Goodwin coming out to kick the extra point attempt. The teams have lined up. She is making sure everything's ready there. Looks like there's the snap. There's the hold. The hold is good. The kick is up. Wow, it is good, but it wasn't picture perfect, but it's good.
It's good.
It's good. We'll call it good. So the Bruins are up 50-6 with 10:38 remaining on the clock as it continues to count down because of the sportsmanship rule.
Can we explain the sportsmanship rule?
Yeah, so once the team gets over 35 points, ahead 35 points after halftime, so it's at any point after halftime, if either team is ahead 35 points or more, then it has a running clock for the rest of the game. Even if they shorten that gap again later in the game, you continue with the running clock for the rest of the game.
Okay. We had a request from the audience for that.
Absolutely.
Explanation, so.
Absolutely. Tell Katie we said hi. So we have 10:37 on the clock. Again, the Bruins lead 50-6. and they're getting ready to kick off to the Wildcats. Got lots of the Wildcat faithful coming up here to in front of the press box and waving at us.
Now, are they still going to go for the onside kick here? Or
We'll see.
It does not
We'll
appear
see.
they are.
Looks like they have the ball teed up, and they have number 8 out there to kick. That's Clay James, and he's going to kick it. Almost a little squib kick. It goes out of bounds to about the 25-yard line. So there will be a penalty flag for kicking out of bounds. During that last drive, we had 12 plays for an 80-yard drive. There's a 2-yard run was the last play by Mason Cobb, and it took 8 minutes and 42 seconds off the clock. And of course, you got to keep in mind that clock never stopped the whole time. So that was 8 minutes and 42 seconds of actual time.
But the fact that there were still 12 plays, run, I mean, that's what you want to see when you have a big lead.
Absolutely.
Kill as much clock as you can, even if they didn't have the mercy rule or the sportsmanship rule.
There you go.
Yeah, sportsmanship rule.
So 10 minutes, 19 seconds and counting on the clock. The Wildcats are lined up at the 35-yard line. There's the snap. Handoff to number 22. I want to make sure that was number 22.
Yes, it was.
This is Max Pena. Again, he's brought up all the way to about the 35-yard line where he runs out of bounds. And is there a flag out there?
There is a flag on the field. It was right next to where he ran out of bounds, but I don't, maybe a face mask or something. I'm not sure what they saw, but
he looked like he was happy about it whenever he got up. So we'll see. Here comes the call from the head official now.
While we're waiting, the score is 50-6. Bruins are leading the Wildcats with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
So it looked like that was a sideline warning.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that the Wildcats were just overly excited about that play, as they should be.
Yeah, probably trying to avoid another interaction like we had in the first half.
Probably true. So we have the ball on the 45-yard line. The Wildcats, 1st and 10. Whoa, that pass did not go as intended. The quarterback, Blaze Wishin, number 15, he attempted to pass the ball over to his right side, but the ball looked like it slipped out of his hand and kind of fumbled along the ground. Luckily, he jumped on top of it right then.
I think it was Will Shelton took advantage of it, if I saw that correctly, with 38. And he just was all over it at the extra time from the bobble.
So the Wildcats have the ball at the 45-yard line. There's the snap. Number 22 of the Wildcats with the carry. He's brought down after about a 1-yard gain on the play. It's Max Pena again.
Now, what's interesting to me is that we still have starters out on defense, and I guess they're just trying to get him experience at this point because they've been off the field for so long this game because the offense is pretty much dominated.
So now the Wildcats again, they have 3rd down, about 8 yards to go. There's the snap. It's number 15. He's going to throw the ball high into the air, and it is complete to number 2, Hunter Wood, for a touchdown for Har-Ber.
I mean, that was just a good passing catch. Right over the defender's hands. He could have done much more. It was just out of his reach. And it was also a good catch by the receiver, so kudos to both of them.
No doubt. So that brings our score. Pulaski Academy 50, Har-Ber Wildcats 12 with 8:41 remaining in the fourth quarter. So now looks like the Wildcats are going to go for a 2-point conversion. Here comes the official. Looks like they making sure that the ball is placed a little closer to the left hash mark than they had originally spotted it. So now here comes the 2-point conversion attempt by the Wildcats. They have the ball at about the 4-yard line, 3-yard line. Here's the snap. Wishin. He's going to run around the right side. It's a pass complete to number 2, Hunter Wood. This is, of course, the same Hunter Wood that just made the touchdown, so he got them both.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that the offense can kind of decide where the ball goes on a 2-point conversion in between the hash marks.
Okay.
I believe that's the case, but I'm not positive.
Yeah. Chris Amsler and I are going, maybe. And Brooksy.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we're all
stand corrected on whether I'd be corrected.
You're not going to be corrected by the three of us tonight, at least. 8:41 remaining on the clock in the fourth quarter. Bruins up 50-14 against the Har-Ber Wildcats. And getting ready for the kickoff from the Har-Ber Wildcats to the Bruins.
We're going to see if the Bruins get a little taste of their own medicine with the onside kick. The receiver, after he caught that 2-point conversion, was hustling back off the field. It looked like he was anxious to get back out there. So,
looking ahead on the schedule, next week the Bruins have an off week, a bye week, if you will. And the very next week, Friday, September 7th at 7 p.m., we're heading to Memphis, Tennessee to play Ridgeway High School. Again, you can hear the game on 101.1 FM, and you can also watch it at PulaskiAcademy.org/PA Live, just as always. Here comes the kickoff from the Wildcats. And the kick is up, and it is an onside kick, and it is fielded by number 84 himself, Hudson Henry, right about the 50-yard line, so that's where the Bruins will take possession of the ball.
I mean, it probably helps that they're used to practicing that in
You're going to watch the YouTube stream. Be sure to turn the volume down and listen to 101.1 FM, right?
It's the guys on the stream are a lot more intelligent than the guys on the radio. No, it's the same audio, same audio.
Russ McKinney's listening to this. I just want to be sure we're not losing the listener.
So there we are. The Bruins have the ball at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. It's a handoff directly around. He runs around the left side of the field, and he stopped. That is Caleb Nichols. He stopped at about the 44-yard line, 45-yard line is where they'll spot the ball. 2nd down, about 4 yards to go for the Bruins.
I believe that's the first time we've seen Caleb Nichols tonight. I don't recall him getting the ball previously, but it's good to see him getting snaps. He is a sophomore, so you want him to get all the experience he can.
Now, 5'8", 155-pound sophomore. And it's funny, I see mine, and he's just breaking 100, and I see these guys out here at 155 pounds. It's kind of funny to compare the two.
I think he got the ball again.
And there's flags coming in all over the place. Yeah, you're right. That was Caleb Nichols again with the carry, and there is a flag on the play. I'm not sure what that was. Here it is, holding against the offense. So they'll back it up from the spot of the foul, probably about the 48-yard line.
That's usually what you're going to see when you see the flags start coming out around the runner, and there's defenders and blockers all around, and it's either a face mask or a holding that you're going to see.
I can never resist whenever the band is out here playing Sweet Caroline.
Well, when they're waving their
there's their phones. Yeah, they've got all their flashlights on their phone. So we have 3rd down, 6 yards to go, 47. Yeah, the down marker on the field says 2nd, but the scoreboard says 3rd.
Well, it's about to say 1st.
That's right. That's enough to move the chains for the Bruins.
It looks like they're going to be at the 45-yard line after either handoff or pass. I didn't see, but it was to Caleb Nichols again, and he took off down the left sideline for several yards before he was pushed out of bounds, like I said, right at that 45-yard line, or the 35-yard line, excuse me.
6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining on the clock in this game. Bruins up 50-14. Bruins have it, the ball at the Wildcats 35-yard line. Here's the 1st down. It's a little shovel pass to number 17, Brandon Perkins. Looks like he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage for about a 5-yard loss.
The receiver, I guess it was a tight end. It was whoever it was on the right side of the line stepped up at the last second, and so make sure that there are only 4 men in the backfield. And so I don't know what they had in store there, but unfortunately it didn't go very far.
So the Bruins will have the ball now at the Wildcats 39-yard line, 2nd down, 14 yards to go, 5 minutes, 51 seconds remaining on the clock in this game. The Bruins approach the ball. They're ready for the snap. Still got number 16, Nolan Bruffett, at quarterback. And his pass is complete to number 26,
Passes complete to Witcher.
That's Jalen Witcher.
Over making the tackle for the Wildcats.
Once again, they attack that left side, so I guess they just see something over there that will work for them, and mostly just running out the clock at this point.
So the Bruins have the ball now at the 29-yard line. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. As they, looks like Bruffett looking over to Coach Kelly to get the play. Now the Bruins approach the ball, they're ready to snap.
You like to see Bruffett get the experience right here, being a sophomore himself.
Absolutely. There's the snap. He immediately hands off to number 24, Caleb Nichols. Seemed to be his go-to man tonight. He makes it up to about the 25-yard line. Let's see, that is just almost. It's not enough for a first down. It'll be 4th down and just less than a yard to go from the 26-yard line. 4.5 minutes remaining in the game.
Once again, they're going for it. Just because it's late in the game doesn't mean they're going to change that.
There's Bruffett with a snap. Again, hands it off to number 24, Caleb Nichols. And he is stopped right at the 20-yard line. That will move the chains. First down, Bruins.
Well, and while we're wrapping things up here, we'll go ahead and shout out to all the fans that made the trip up to Northwest Arkansas to watch the Bruins play live. I know y'all probably aren't listening or watching it, obviously, but if you happen to catch this on the replay, once again, thank y'all for coming on up.
Absolutely. Earlier in the game, we had a small little fight break out on the sidelines, and what I learned during halftime was that the player that was ejected, it was number 4 of Har-Ber, it was Jay Burns. It was speculated that he was taken off on a stretcher just as we were getting into halftime. So we hope that that he is okay and recovers well and is ready to play the rest of the season. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Burns family tonight.
I am not sure what just happened on that play. It looked like a botched pitch play. There was some action from Caleb Nichols. He was running out to the right, and then I didn't see, it might have been number 19 that was running to the left. And I think there was miscommunication on who was supposed to get the ball there. But thankfully, the PA Bruins were able to recover it. And Caleb Nichols with the handoff, he unfortunately is tackled for a loss. So we're looking at 3rd down and about 3rd down and 14 yards at the 24-yard line. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the game. The Bruins are still leading 50-14, of course. Impressively, not much of this crowd has decided to leave. You got to commend the Wildcat faithful for sticking with their players and seeing them through to the end. And the quarterback hands the ball off to number 35, Hunter Ney, who runs out to the left side. It looks like he gains about 5 yards. Hunter Ney, that's the first time he's touched the ball tonight. He is a senior, 6 foot, 175 pound, normally plays linebacker, but I guess he wanted the opportunity to play on the other side of the ball, and he was given.
Folks, if you're watching the live stream, sorry to cut you off there. If you're watching the live stream, we are having a little bit of camera trouble. We've run up there to replace the battery, and so we'll have that back online for you just shortly. So just bear with us for a moment. Looks like Nolan Bruffett's going to step back. He's going to pass the ball. It is complete. No, it's not. It's incomplete.
It was intercepted by number 20. Was that 22 or 33? Number 33 from the Wildcats. And the Bruins were trying to run a screen play there. And unfortunately, I think Bruffett just decided to throw it into a pack, and the Wildcats were able to come up with the ball. But at this point, it's all kind of moot because we're looking at 1 minute and 24 seconds and counting in this game.
Bruins currently leading the Wildcats 50-14. Just over a minute remaining in the game. So now the Wildcats will take possession of the ball at the 19-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. We still have Wishson out there at the quarterback position. There's the snap. He hands off immediately to number 10, That's Malachi Campbell, his go-to man, and there's a flag on the play at the end of the play.
That is going to be a horse collar. Unfortunately, he was brought down from behind. The defender grabbed onto the back of his shirt. Unfortunately, that's kind of a dangerous play. You don't really want to see that this late in the game, really ever, but especially this late in the game.
So that takes a 2-yard gain and makes it more of a 17-yard gain. So eventually they'll stop marching that one off, and they'll place the ball at about the 38-yard line.
With 52 seconds. That didn't stop the clock. This
No,
clock still keeps running.
it keeps running.
Marked off. Huh.
Absolutely. 1st and 10, 45 seconds on the clock. There's the snap. Livingston now at quarterback. He's going to throw it high. It's intended. Ouch. He is in some pain. No, he's not. That was emotional pain he was showing. Wow, there were some soccer players out there that would have been proud from that move. But that was intended for number 29.
Just a good job, good effort moment there.
Gavin Courtney. Yeah. So again, number 16, Noah Livingston, second-string quarterback, is in the game. There's the snap. He's going to play fake, looks to the right. He's tossing it high into the air. It looks complete to number 11, Reed Tatum.
And that will do it.
And that brings us to the end of the game. Final score, Pulaski Academy Bruins 50, Har-Ber Wildcats 14. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with final thoughts on the game right after this. You're listening to Bruin Football on 101.1 FM. Hey folks, once again, if you're listening to the live stream, we understand that the video is offline, but we're at the end of the game here. So the score is Bruins 50, Wildcats 14. Thank you for joining us. We'll come back with the final thoughts in just a moment.
Check, 1, 2, check.
All right. Welcome back to Har-Ber High School. We are wrapping things up tonight. Pulaski Academy defeats the Har-Ber Wildcats 50-14. Brooksy, let's go back here and tell us what you're not ready quite yet. We have had an incredible game this evening, and so just kind of look at it overall, how impressed are you just to see this team for the first time?
Extremely impressed. I mean, they clearly started off with some jitters, some early game hiccups, and thankfully the other side, the Wildcats, also had some of their own. And as we saw, I think it was about 10 minutes into the game before we saw a score either which way. But once the Bruins got going, they really just did not stop. And especially that second quarter, the last 10 minutes, they just seemed to rattle off touchdown after touchdown. They had, finally got the onside kick to work for them.
Right.
And they were able to capitalize on that. And then, I mean, by the halftime, it was kind of, as Brooks said, he was going to go ahead and give it to him.
It was a nice feeling to see this team out there. This is the team that I was used to seeing last year and the year before. And, after watching the scrimmage last week, I got to tell you, I was nervous.
Especially after the Bryant scrimmage last week. That really did kind of worry me.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely it did. So that was a nerve-wracking scrimmage just to watch. But to see these guys come out, they were coming off the ball fast. The defense was working as a team tonight. The receivers were doing their jobs, getting to the ball. All in all, I was impressed with both sides of the ball tonight.
Well, and I want to go ahead and, I guess, give game balls to on the offensive side, Hudson Henry, of course. I mean,
Absolutely.
He just, was a target. Anytime they needed a target, he was the target they needed. And on the defense, Clinton Wilson, I think he had at least 1 or 2 sacks, but, I mean, he always seemed to just be in the backfield. He was always chasing the quarterback, and I feel like the one interception we had, I feel like he might have been the reason why the quarterback, was throwing the ball away when he did. But, he was just, I'd never heard the name before tonight, and I'm not going to forget it.
Very good. Brooks Beasley back here with some statistics for the game. Tell
yes,
us about
sir. Well, as you'll notice, the second half wasn't near as prolific as the first half was. Anyway, the Bruins ended up, like I say, these are not official by any means. There might be some other changes to it, but I have 522 total yards of offense, and that brings 207 rushing and 315 passing. And the quarterbacks were about, 26 or 27, I believe that's right, of about 37. So the passing I thought was pretty good tonight. The defense, I think, after the first quarter got started, I think the defense really picked it up and really had a lot of outstanding plays by the defensive line, I do believe.
That plays right into the 2017 averages. I was looking at those, and last year the Bruins averaged 571.3 yards per game. So that's just a bit under average,
right.
But that's right in there.
Yeah. Well, another thing too. Well, of course, last year we had a lot of games too that had the sportsmanship rule, and this game also, and so it makes the game a little bit shorter. And of course, the thing about it is your star players, or your first teamers, let's put it that way. All of them are star players by all means in my book, but your better players get to play more, and then in the second half the substitutes come in, and they're not quite up to the same speed as the first teamers are, so your statistics go down a little bit.
And that's one of the things that I love about the way that Pulaski Academy plays and the way Coach Kelly sends them out. They get a chance to come out as starters, and then the ones who come in, that's second string, so to speak, comes in the second half, and they get the experience, so that when they are starters, there's no shock.
Right.
There's no nerves.
Right.
I mean, you might be excited that you're a starter, but they're used to it. They're used to playing under the lights. They're
Right.
used to the plays. They're used to receiving the plays the way that they do through the hand signals and the different, funny names that coaches come up with for the
Right.
different plays. But it's not a big shock to their system. And so by the time they get out there as a starter, it's not a big shock to them. They're
Right.
not going to be starstruck. So to
Right,
speak.
absolutely. Well, I think, and that's one thing that really carries the tradition on for the Bruins, is that they do get a lot of playing time as 10th graders and 11th graders, and that's how you build your team.
That's right. Well, Brooks, thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and I'm glad we got a new addition to our broadcasting staff.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done a great job tonight.
Let's go to Holt Short for some final words.
Well, first of all, since I'm new to this whole setup, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and thank everyone that helped put this together tonight. And then what are we looking at in 2 weeks?
That's right. Next week they have an off week, and so in 2 weeks, September 7th, we'll be in Memphis, Tennessee to play Ridgeway High School.
Do we have any idea what we're looking at? You know,
We played them
Last year we played them, and
at home.
yeah.
And they're, let's say they're inner city school with not a big budget. Coach Chris Peterson, he's already gone scouted out their stadium. And let's just say you have this lovely Wildcat Stadium on one end, and they're on the other. So, but as far as the teams go, I mean, I believe we Mercy rolled them last year.
Right. It was score was 56-20.
There's Brooks with the numbers.
That's why they called me the stat man.
That's why. That's because you are. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, again, folks, we thank you for joining us tonight. Our final score from here, Pulaski Academy, 50. Missing that.
50-14.
50-14. Thank you, Brooksy. We're going to go ahead and
The
shut it down.
scoreboard's already gone.
The scoreboard's offline, and I'm slow on the clock. Let's go ahead and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Good night and good luck.